Chapter 2049. After hearing about Nine Heavens Snow Domain, Qin Fan's heart wavered. What he needed the most now was an opportunity to break through. How could he miss it? What are the conditions to enter Nine Heavens Snow Domain? Qin Fan asked. Feng Shu was overjoyed and immediately replied, Senior, the Nine Heavens Snow Domain doesn't have any entry requirements. It's open to the cultivators of Snow Domain City for free. Of course, cultivators from the other 3 plates of the West Sea continent are not allowed to enter the Nine Heavens Snow Domain. After learning more about Nine Heavens Snow Domain, Qin Fan decided to explore with Feng Shu. According to Feng Shu, Nine Heavens Snow Domain would open once a year, and each time it would open for 3 months. Qin Fan thought that he could stay in the West Sea continent for another 3 months. Once Nine Heavens Snow Domain closed, he would immediately return to the North Sand continent. Snow Domain City was filled with people. Qin Fan didn't know if it was because Nine Heavens Snow Domain was about to open. Qin Fan followed Feng Shu to Snow Domain City's big square. The square was already filled with people. Even more cultivators couldn't stand, so they surrounded the square. Yo! Isn't this Snow Domain City's white sex genius eldest disciple, Feng Shu? Long time no see. Why are you still body condensation level 1? Your name is fake, right? Qin Fan heard a mocking laugh. Qin Fan looked over and saw a middle-aged man in a white robe walking over with a beautiful woman in his arms. Feng Shu frowned when he saw this person. He turned his head to the side and pretended not to see him. The man in white walked over and stood in front of him. He hugged the woman in his arms tighter. Not bad. No wonder you're the white sex genius eldest disciple. You're so arrogant. I greeted you and you pretended not to hear me. Are you embarrassed to see me? Feng Shu clenched his fists and loosened them. He looked at the man and said coldly, Gao Jin, we're not friends. There's no need to greet each other. If you're bored, go talk to someone else. Anyway, I have nothing to talk to you about. The man called Gao Jin was in his 40s but was already body condensation level 7. When Qin Fan saw his cultivation level, he was shocked. His cultivation speed was simply heaven-defying. Gao Jin paid no heed to Feng Shu's words. His large hand pinched the chest of the woman in his embrace. The sudden action caused the woman to scream out in surprise. Ah! Ha! My little sister Ru, what's your name? Gao Jin had an evil smile on his face as he asked a question he already knew the answer to. The woman's skin immediately became rosy and tender. She pounded Gao Jin's arm and acted like a spoiled child. Brother Jin, you're so naughty. There are so many people watching. Gao Jin laughed out loud, but he had no intention of restraining himself. He slapped the woman's buttocks hard again. Nonsense. I'm your man, you can touch me however you want. Why do you care about other people's opinions? I'm your man, you can touch me. Anyway, they can't touch it. Feng Shu, don't you think? Feng Shu's face was as cold as frost. It turned out that the woman in Gao Jin's arms was her first love, the junior sister. The two of them were childhood sweethearts and grew up together in the White Sect. Unexpectedly, Gao Jin later went to the White Sect to propose marriage in the name of the Gao clan of Snowfield City and named Shang Ru to be taken away. If it was Gao Jin's one-sided proposal, Feng Shu wouldn't back down. Even if the Gao family was one of the few 8-star families in Snowfield City, Feng Shu would fight them to the end. However, Ru betrayed her and Feng Shu's simple love and threw herself into Gao Jin's arms. She just wanted to get better resources and development. Because of this, Feng Shu didn't have the heart to cultivate for the past 3 years. He stayed at body condensation level 1 and didn't make any progress. After 3 years, Fang Shu thought that all his feelings were gone. However, when he saw Ru again, Fang Shu was in so much pain that he couldn't breathe. Junior sister Ru, I respect your choice back then, but I still advise you to see the facts clearly. Gao Jin only likes your appearance and body, not your heart. When he's done playing with you one day, he'll kick you away. Fang Shu couldn't help but want to warn Ru. The smile on Gao Jin's face suddenly disappeared. His body surged with true essence and he slapped Fang Shu without saying anything. A giant true essence hand suddenly appeared in the void, and its ferocious aura surged toward Fang Shu. The cultivators around the square immediately fled. Many of them were scared out of their wits. Fang Shu immediately realized the danger. However, Gao Jin's cultivation was much higher than his, and it was a sneak attack at such a close distance. He could only watch helplessly as true essence rushed toward him. The feeling of being humiliated in front of his rival in love and being beaten was worse than death. Bang! There was a muffled sound. The commotion was much calmer than everyone had imagined. Qin Feng stood in front of Fang Shu. It looked like a simple lift of his hand, but he dissipated Gao Jin's ferocious palm energy. The crowd was shocked, and the sound of discussion rose and fell. Who is that young hero? How dare he meddle in the affairs of Snowfield City's Gao family? I heard that Senior Gao Jin stepped into the body condensation level 7 when he just turned 40. He is considered one of the most talented cultivators in the entire West Sea continent. I didn't expect that this young hero, who looks less than 30 years old, could block Senior Gao's attack. I recognize that person. That is Fang Shu, the eldest disciple of the Seven-Star Sect White Sect in Snowfield City. 3 years ago, his woman was stolen by Senior Gao. It seems that they are fighting over a woman. Gao Jin didn't care about the discussion. He stared coldly at Qin Feng. Who are you? How dare you meddle in my business? Do you know who I am? Qin Feng didn't look scared at all. He said indifferently, I don't care about your identity. I only know that Fang Shu is my friend. If you want to bully my friend, you have to ask me first. Fang Shu's eyes turned red, and a warm feeling surged in his heart. He had only met Qin Feng twice. He didn't expect this senior to be so loyal. Senior, you have saved me twice. Junior Fang Shu will remember it. If we meet again in the future, I will repay you with my life. Senior, please leave first. I will take care of this myself, Fang Shu said as he cupped his fists. Qin Feng understood what Fang Shu meant. Others might be afraid of the Snowfield City Gao family, but Qin Feng didn't care at all. He wasn't a cultivator from the West Sea continent. After this 9-heaven Snowfield adventure, he would return to the North Sand continent. So what if he offended an 8-star family? The Gao family had to find him first. You want to leave alive after offending me? Do you think the Gao family doesn't exist? Gao Jin immediately used his divine sense to lock onto Qin Feng's aura, afraid that he would escape. Fang Shu panicked and shouted at Gao Jin, this has nothing to do with Senior. If you are angry, just vent it on me. Don't worry. I will take care of you too, ants. This is the result of offending the Snowfield City Gao family. Gao Jin was extremely arrogant. However, in the eyes of the crowd, he deserved to be arrogant. The Snowfield City's Gao family was one of the few 8-star factions in the West Sea continent. It was rumored that the retired family head had already attained the true form realm and was usually in seclusion. Only when the Gao family encountered a life-or-death crisis would he come out to show his might. If you want to fight, then fight. Stop talking nonsense. If you don't dare to fight, go away, Qin Feng said unceremoniously. The crowd was shocked. As a cultivator of Snowfield City, everyone knew about the Gao family. Usually, when they saw the Gao family disciples, they would avoid them. Rumor had it that a cauldron-filling power had a conflict with the Gao family disciples. He had killed 3 early-stage empty god realm Gao family disciples. In less than 6 hours, a group of experts from the Gao family had appeared and killed the cauldron-filling power. Gao Jin hadn't expected Qin Feng to be so domineering. He wasn't even afraid of the Gao family. After a while, he came back to his senses and stared at Qin Feng coldly. Humph. Don't think you can do whatever you want just because you've made some progress in your cultivation. In the eyes of the Gao family, your cultivation level is lower than an ant. We have hundreds of body condensation state cultivators and many cauldron-filling power. We don't even have a disaster transformation state divine lord. We also have a true form realm ancestor in seclusion. We can kill an ant like you in the blink of an eye. Qin Feng said nonchalantly, I don't care how powerful the Gao family is. I only know that you're no match for me. If I'm an ant to you, then you're even worse than an ant. You. Gao Jin was so angry that he almost spat out blood. The crowd screamed. This was the first time they had seen a man who dared to go against the Gao family. Although it was very satisfying to hear Qin Feng scold Gao Jin, Fang Shu immediately came up to dissuade him. Senior, please don't say so much. The Gao family of Snowfield City is not to be trifled with. Don't implicate you because of my personal matters. After saying that, he looked at Chang Ru and said, I've said what I need to say. If you insist on choosing cultivation resources and go against your conscience, then pretend I didn't say anything. Fang Shu, this is my woman. You don't need to say anything. Gao Jin was furious. He pinched Chang Ru's chest and shouted, Are you jealous that I stole your little junior sister? But then again, your little junior sister's figure is really good. It's a pity that you've been with her for so many years, but you've never even touched her body. I play with this body every day and touch it whenever I want. Are you itching to see it? I'll give you a chance. Kneel on the ground and kowtow to me 3 times, and I'll allow you to touch my little junior sister. In order to vent his anger, Gao Jin had used a crazy method. Fang Shu's eyes were full of fire, and his body surged with violent true essence. However, before he could make a move, he was stopped by Qin Feng. It's not worth it for that kind of woman. Senior. I appreciate your kindness, but don't stop me. A scholar can be killed, but not humiliated. Today, either I die or he dies. Fang Shu was so angry that he lost his mind. Qin Feng knew that Fang Shu was no match for Gao Jin. Gao Jin was deliberately provoking Fang Shu and waiting for him to make a move. Once the two of them fought, Fang Shu would definitely die in less than half an hour. Chapter 2050. Before Qin Fen could say anything else, several black figures flew over from the distance. Fang Shu, what are you doing here? One of the figures landed next to Fang Shu. Seeing this person, Fang Shu immediately calmed down and cupped his fists. Greetings, Master Fang Shi. What's going on here? Fang Shi glanced at Gao Jin and Chang Ru. He had already guessed what was going on, and his expression turned cold. Ha! Some of the old guys from the White Sect are finally here. If the White Sect doesn't give me a satisfactory explanation today, I'll definitely report this to the Grand Elders of the Gao family. Gao Jin immediately became arrogant. Ever since the group of old men appeared, Fang Shu appeared very nervous. He lowered his head and said, Master Fang Shi, I had some words with Gao Jin. I'll take care of this. Another gray-robed old man said angrily, Bastard. It's been 3 years since that incident, and Chang Ru's disciple married into the Gao family. Why can't you let it go? The angry old man was the grand elder of the White Sect, Fong Wentian. Qin Fen glanced at him, but he couldn't see through his cultivation level. He was a top-notch master, but instead of speaking up for his disciple, he reprimanded Fong Shu in front of everyone. Grand Elder, I was wrong. Fong Shu lowered his head dejectedly. Fong Wentian still didn't look happy. He said coldly, "What's the point of saying this to me? Hurry up and apologize to Gao Jin. From now on, the two of you will have nothing to do with each other, and don't bother junior sister Chang Ru anymore. Do you hear me?" Fong Shu clenched his fists, but he finally loosened them. He looked at Gao Jin unwillingly. "I was too emotional just now. If I offended you in any way, I hope senior brother Gao Jin won't blame me." Gao Jin revealed a playful smile. He shook his legs and said in a frivolous manner, "Yo. Is this still the genius disciple of the White Sect? Weren't you quite arrogant earlier? You even wanted to hit me. What's wrong with you now? Why are you apologizing to me?" Gao Jin's despicable look was extremely annoying. Many of the surrounding cultivators couldn't stand it anymore. Fong Shu's eyes were bloodshot. He gritted his teeth so hard that they were about to break. "Since the conflict has been resolved, we'll take our leave first." Before he could walk away, Gao Jing's shout came from behind, "Stinking brat. Who said I forgave you? If you dare to run away, I'll go back and report this to the elders of the Gao family. I'll make your White Sect suffer the consequences." "Fong Shu!" Fong Wentian roared. Fong Shu could only stop in his tracks. He turned around and said, "What else do you want?" The smile on Gao Jin's face grew wider, and he said slyly, "No one who dares to offend our Gao family will have a good ending, but seeing that you're quite sincere in your apology, and the elders of the White Gate are here, I won't make things difficult for you. Kneel down and kowtow 3 times, then shout that you're trash, and I'll let you go this time. Gao, don't push your luck." Fong Shu was furious. Gao Jin's face was ice cold as he said gloomily, "I'm not satisfied. Grandpa is already kind enough. Since you don't appreciate it, then fine, I'll report this matter to the family now. When the time comes, your entire White Gate will be implicated because of you. Brother Jean, there are so many people here, let's go somewhere else." Chang Ru couldn't stand it anymore and spoke up for Fong Shu. Unexpectedly, Gao Jin was enraged. He slapped her face and scolded, "You bitch, how dare you speak up for an outsider after being with me? Do you feel bad for your little senior brother? Then you can live with him from now on." Chang Ru covered her red and swollen face and looked at Gao Jin with tears in her eyes. "Brother Jin, don't be angry. Why would I like that piece of trash? I just saw that the elders of the White Gate are here, and I'm afraid Brother Jin will suffer." "Ha! The elders of the White Gate are nothing, they're just some cauldron-filling state cultivators. If they dare to touch a hair of mine, our disaster transformation state elders can crush them with one hand." Gao Jin was extremely arrogant. The elders of the White Gate who rushed over were furious, but they had nowhere to vent. Gao Jin's words weren't pleasant to hear, but they were the truth. The White Gate was only a 7-star sect, while the Gao family of Snowfield City was one of the few 8-star families. If the two really had a conflict, the White Gate wouldn't even know how it died. What are you waiting for? Do as he says and go back to the sect to be punished. Don't embarrass yourself here." Fong Wentian vented all his anger on Fong Shu. Everyone looked at Fong Shu, and Fong Shu looked at Fong Wentian in disbelief. "Grand Elder, what are you saying?" Fong Wentian said angrily, "Are you deaf? I told you to kneel down and apologize to Gao Jin. Don't harm the thousands of disciples of the White Gate because of your mistake. Senior brother, isn't this a bit too much? Fong Shu is my disciple, and I know his personality very well. He's not the type of person to look for trouble. I think Gao Jin started this. Fong Chi couldn't stand it anymore. Fong Wentian said angrily, "Does it matter who's right and who's wrong? Then tell me, how else can this matter be resolved?" Fong Chi was stumped and couldn't give an answer for a long time. Fong Wentian looked at Fong Shu again and said emotionlessly, "Don't waste time. You should take responsibility for your own mistakes. Don't implicate everyone else." Fong Shu clenched his fists so hard that cracking sounds could be heard. He wanted to punch Gao Jin's head, who was standing in front of him with a playful smile on his face. But in the end, he loosened his fists and bent his knees slightly. He didn't have to lower his head to Gao Jin and he could use his life to resist, but he didn't want to implicate the entire White Gate. Before Fong Shu could kneel, a large hand pulled him up. He looked up, and tears instantly streamed down his face. When his own sect was speaking up for an outsider, the person who was willing to stand up was his benefactor, whom he had only met twice. "Senior. Leave. This has nothing to do with you." Fong Shu didn't want to implicate Qin Feng. "Since I've met him, it has something to do with me. I can only say that you've joined the wrong sect. It's fine if you don't join this kind of trash sect. You should leave." Qin Feng's words were shocking. Although the White Gate was not as powerful as the Gao family in Snowfield City, it was still a 7-star sect. Many disciples in the West Sea continent tried their best to get in, but Qin Feng called it a trash sect. Fong Wentian was furious. He glared at Qin Feng and roared, "Where did you come from, you ant? How dare you speak so arrogantly here? Believe it or not, I'll kill you with one palm." Qin Feng said indifferently, "Ha. Why didn't you act so tough when the disciples in the sect were bullied? Seeing that my cultivation is lower than yours and I don't have a backer to protect me, you're so arrogant. Dare I ask, with a good-for-nothing elder like you, how good can the White Gate be? You." Fong Wentian was so angry that he almost vomited blood. Violent true essence surged out of his body. Everyone was stunned and extremely curious about Qin Feng's identity. This guy was even more arrogant than Gao Jin. First, he offended the Gao family, and now he had offended the first elder of the White Gate. Fong Shu jumped in fright and hurriedly stood in front of Qin Feng to plead, "Great elder, this is my savior. Please show mercy." Qin Feng pulled him away and said seriously, "Now you only have two choices. First, kneel down and apologize in front of everyone. Second, leave the White Gate and beat up Gao Jin with me." "Beat up Gao Jin?" Fong Shu looked at Qin Feng in disbelief. Fire surged in his heart, and he felt like his blood was about to burn. He also wanted to beat up Gao Jin, but this was not realistic. "Senior. I've decided to leave the White Gate." Fong Shu quickly made his choice. Then, he looked at Fong Wentian and said, "From now on, I'm no longer a disciple of the White Gate. My grudge with Gao Jin has nothing to do with the White Gate. You don't have to worry anymore." Fong Wentian's face turned green and purple. Finally, he swung his sleeves and left. "Humph. You know what's good for you." The people of the White Gate followed him. When Fong Chi passed by Fong Shu, he couldn't help but sigh. Fong Shu couldn't help but feel a little disappointed as he watched his master and fellow apprentices, who were once like family members, leave. But he quickly took a deep breath and smiled in relief. "Gao Jin, Fong Shu, have nothing to worry about now. Don't even think about threatening me." Gao Jin's face was livid. He gritted his teeth and glared at Fong Shu. "Your woman was stolen by me, and the sect kicked you out. What are you so proud of? How dare you bark in front of me? Fong Shu, do you want to beat him up?" Qin Feng suddenly asked. Fang Shu didn't understand what Qin Feng meant, but he said instinctively, "Of course." As his voice fell, a strange magnetic field rippled in the surroundings, but no one noticed the aura of the field at all. "Then, you can do it anytime." Qin Feng's expression was indifferent. When Fang Shu decided to leave the White Gate, he had already planned to fight Gao Jin to the death. Although he knew that he would most likely be killed, he would rather die than be humiliated. When Qin Feng finished speaking, Fang Shu had already rushed to Gao Jin's side. He slammed his palm down, and there was a huge explosion. Gao Jin seemed to be frozen. His abdomen was hit, but his body didn't move. He opened his mouth and spat out a mouthful of blood. "What's going on?" Gao Jin's expression changed drastically. He tried to circulate his true essence, but he found that his body didn't listen to him at all. Fang Shu was also stunned by the palm. He even suspected that Gao Jin didn't attack him on purpose to humiliate him. But soon, he didn't think so. No one would seriously injure himself just to humiliate his opponent. "Senior." Fang Shu suddenly came to his senses and looked at Qin Feng. Before he finished speaking, he was interrupted by Qin Feng. "Experts from the Gao family are coming. Let's finish this quickly." Fang Shu immediately slammed his palm a few more times, but found that Gao Jin really couldn't move. He was like a toy that he could trample on. A few seconds later, Qin Feng suddenly flew over and dragged Fang Shu into the distance. When everyone came to their senses, they couldn't see Qin Feng and Fang Shu anymore. Instead, Gao Jin was kneeling in a pool of blood. His handsome face had been beaten into a pig's head. If it weren't for his clothes, no one would have recognized him. Who is that young cultivator? What did he do just now? There seems to be the residual aura of a battlefield in the air. Did that young cultivator use a battlefield? Rumor has it that a battlefield can only be used when one reaches the body condensation realm. However, most cultivators only come into contact with the existence of a battlefield when they reach the cauldron-filling state. Moreover, they can only use a battlefield when they reach the late stage of the cauldron-filling state or even the disaster transformation realm. And that young hero just now used a battlefield to trap Gao Jin. It's obvious that he has reached the small success realm. But he's only at the body condensation realm level 4. He must have eaten a beautifying pill and hidden his strength. There aren't many small success realm cultivators in the West Sea continent, and all of them are famous. So that young hero is a famous person. Chapter 2051. Shuiyu City. Light Tower. More than 20 cultivators sat cross-legged in a circle in the spiritual rest tower on the top floor. In front of them was a supreme-grade spirit crystal table made of spirit crystals with top-grade spirit tea on top. The tower was filled with spiritual energy that was dozens of times stronger than the spiritual energy in Shuiyu City's Grand Square. The luxurious top floor was the best location in the entire Light Tower and also the place with the most spiritual energy in the entire Shuiyu City. Those who could sit in the tower were the top ultimate gods in Shuiyu City. If other cultivators saw the lineup in the tower, they would be scared out of their wits. Governor Sheng, now that all the representatives of the top forces in Shuiyu City are here, please express your opinion about the sky ceiling formation that recently appeared in the sky above the sacred ground of Shuiyu, said Ji Ling, the top itinerant cultivator in Shuiyu City. Everyone's eyes fell on Xing Zhongtian. His expression was solemn as he slowly said, "As for the sky ceiling formation above the holy ground of snow, I only found out about it from Deputy City Lord Wang Lu's report. The day before yesterday, I specially went to the holy ground of snow to check it out. However, I'm not proficient in formations, so I'll let sect leader he explain in detail." Everyone's eyes fell on a green-robed, sage-like old man. Shuiyu City disciples would have screamed if they saw that person. He was the sect leader of Shuai City's 7 Stars Formation Sect, 3 Pure Formation Sect, Heartwarming. Rumor had it that he had entered the level 7 Formation King level and was the only Formation King senior in the entire West Sea continent. When the news of the sky ceiling formation appearing in the sky above the sacred ground spread 3 days ago, I immediately went to observe it. After 3 days of research, I can confirm 2 things. First, the formation that appeared out of thin air is indeed the sky ceiling formation. Second, this formation has a formation platform and is undoubtedly an ancient formation. The formation has just been activated and will cover the entire sky above Shuai City and even extend to the other 3 major regions of the West Sea continent when it's completely completed. Heartwarming's words made the atmosphere in the tower extremely heavy. Even though the lowest cultivation level among the cultivators present was at the Ekayana tripod realm with a few disaster transformation mighty figures and even true form realm ultimate gods present, they could only watch helplessly in the face of an ancient sky ceiling formation. It's actually an ancient formation. How did this formation appear? When I rushed to the snowy region formed by the formation, I sensed the aura of a ghost cultivator from the Dead Sea. Later, I investigated and found out that the Dead Sea's 9 monastery's deputy monastery master, Tao Huegu, was hunting down a human cultivator nearby. According to Tao Huegu, it was that body condensation stage for human cultivator who set up the Great Sky Ceiling Formation, said Wang Lu Zhongming. Xia Wanshi, the sect leader of the 8-star sect, immediately questioned, Vice City Lord Wang Lu, I did smell ghost cultivators when I arrived, but I don't think Tao Huegu's words can be trusted. How can a body condensation stage for human cultivator set up an ancient sky ceiling formation? According to sect leader the heaven ceiling formation should be a level 9 grand formation. Not to mention the West Sea continent, no one in the entire divine continent can arrange a level 9 grand formation. Heartwarming nodded. Right. It's a level 9 sky ceiling formation. Everyone fell into deep thought. They wouldn't believe that a body condensation stage for human cultivator could arrange a level 9 sky ceiling formation. The West Sea continent's number 1 formation king, Heartwarming, was there. Even if he did it himself, he wouldn't be able to arrange a level 9 grand formation. Sect leader Xia, are you saying that the ghost cultivators from the Dead Sea are lying? Why would they lie? Is there some unspeakable secret? Gao Jingchao, Snowfield City's Gao family's patriarch, said. I'm just guessing. After all, the conflict between Snowfield City and the Dead Sea has existed for thousands of years. Cultivators from both sides have been fighting openly and covertly. I heard that the Ghost King from the Dead Sea has achieved great success recently and his cultivation has skyrocketed. Maybe he wants to use this opportunity to cause trouble. It's never wrong to be careful, said Xia Wanshi. Another elder said, even if that formation was made by the ghost cultivators from the Dead Sea, where did they get their hands on a level 9 sky ceiling formation? Could it be that the Ghost King from the Dead Sea wants to seal the sky above Snowfield City and turn this place into a wasteland, then invade this land in a few decades? I don't think he's that ambitious, right? I think that everyone's thinking is wrong. That sky ceiling formation might not have been set up by someone later on. In my opinion, it's more likely that it has existed in the sacred land of Snowfield since a long time ago. It's just that the formation wasn't activated before. Now, for some reason, the sky ceiling formation has been activated on its own. The leader of Snowfield City's largest chamber of commerce, the West Sea Chamber of Commerce, expressed his opinion. Many people nodded in agreement. Compared to setting up a level 9 sky ceiling formation, everyone present believed that the formation had existed since a long time ago. Everyone, please calm down. Seeing that the situation had become somewhat chaotic, Xing Zhongtian waved his hand and said, everyone's already gone off topic. The reason why we've gathered everyone here today is to discuss how to deal with the sky ceiling formation above the sacred land of Snowfield, not how that formation came about. Everyone suddenly came to their senses and realized that they had indeed gone off topic. City Lord Xing, that is a level 9 ancient sky ceiling formation. With our abilities, there's no way we can break it, He Qianjin said mercilessly. Everyone's expressions became even more serious. Is there really no other way? Wang Lu Zhongming asked. He Qianjin shook his head. Xia Wancher said, what will happen if the sky ceiling formation continues to exist? According to my observation, the sky ceiling formation is not only used to seal all the secret realms formation entrances, but its main function is to seal a realm. Whoosh! Even the West Sea continent's peak ultimate gods could not remain calm. Someone even exclaimed, seal a realm. What does that mean? It means to seal a large area. No cultivator can ascend to immortality within this formation area. Xing Zhongtian, Ji Ling, and the others immediately stood up when they heard unable to ascend to immortality because they had already stepped into the true transformation realm. They would enter a new cultivation system as soon as they stepped into the true God realm, which was the lifelong dream of all divine continent cultivators, to ascend to the immortal realm. As for whether the immortal realm existed, even Xing Zhongtian and the others were not sure. However, there had always been a rumor in the divine continent that the divine continent's number 1, senior great Tao ultimate god, had torn the void and stepped into the immortal realm. Moreover, many peerless ultimate gods had also broken through to the true God realm and entered a new cultivation system after the great Tao ultimate god. Unable to ascend to immortality. Is what sect leader he said true? Xing Zhongtian asked anxiously. He Qianjin nodded with an extremely serious expression. How would I dare to say such things? In fact, it's my first time coming into contact with the level 9 sky ceiling formation. I only found some fragmentary information about the ancient sky ceiling formation after I went back and looked through the secret formation manuals passed down by my sect's grandmasters. The information introduced the main function of the sky ceiling formation, which is to seal a realm and prevent immortals from ascending to immortality. Everyone had no choice but to believe He Qianjin since he had said so. The atmosphere in the attic suddenly became solemn. Xing Zhongtian and the others were not the only ones who wanted to ascend to immortality. Everyone present was a peak ultimate god from the West Sea continent. Which of them did not want to ascend to immortality in the future? It's impossible for the Dead Sea's ghost cultivators to set up the sky ceiling formation. Even if they wanted to invade Shuayu City, they wouldn't use such extreme means. Since things have become so serious, I'll no longer hide the fact that the sky ceiling formation has spread to the sky above Shuayu City. At this rate, I'm afraid the entire Shuayu City will be completely covered in 3 months. Xing Zhongtian's words were shocking. The ultimate gods present began to feel uneasy. At their cultivation realm, it was difficult for them to have their state of mind disturbed even in the face of death. Governor Xing, if Shuayu City is covered by the sky ceiling formation, we won't be able to ascend to immortality in the future. This is a very serious matter. I hope Governor Xing can come up with a countermeasure as soon as possible. If you need our Heaven Cultivation sect's help, please let us know. Xia Wancher was so anxious that he had lost his train of thought. Wang Lu Zhongming said, don't worry, everyone. This matter happened too suddenly and the situation is so serious. The most important thing for everyone now is to calm down. It's impossible to crack the ancient sky ceiling formation with just the power of Shuayu City's prefectures alone. We need to come up with a countermeasure together. The attic fell into silence. One could imagine everyone's mood when faced with the fact that they could not ascend to immortality. It was worse than death. I got it. After a long time, the president of the West Sea Chamber of Commerce slapped his thigh and shouted, Deputy Governor Wang Lu said he met the Deputy Temple Master of Nine Temple, Taohuegu, at the place where the formation was formed. Wang Lu Zhongming immediately nodded. The president of the West Sea Chamber of Commerce continued, and Taohuegu said that the formation was set up by a human cultivator. Wang Lu Zhongming nodded again. Everyone looked at the president of the West Sea Chamber of Commerce in a daze. They had no idea what he was trying to say. From what I see, the sky ceiling formation has indeed been hidden in the sacred grounds of Shuiyu all this time. Now, for some unknown reason, it has suddenly been activated. So Taohuegu did not lie. He thought that the formation was set up by a human cultivator at the body condensation stage 4. At this point, some of the powerhouses revealed a look of realization. They seemed to have understood what the president of the West Sea Chamber of Commerce was trying to say. Since that's the case, we'll beat him at his own game. We'll find someone to spread the news that Shuiyu City has set up the sky ceiling formation to deal with the Dead Sea. When that happens, the Ghost King of the Dead Sea will definitely panic and attack the formation. If we have the help of those ghost cultivators, we might really be able to break the sky ceiling formation. Everyone fell into deep thought. After a while, Xing Zhongtian nodded and said, although this method might not work, it's the best solution at the moment. Right now, almost all the disciples in Shuiyu City know that the sky ceiling formation has appeared in the sky above the sacred grounds of Shuiyu. If we wait for the formation to extend into Shuiyu City, it will definitely cause panic among the cultivators. Why don't we strike first and tell everyone that the formation was set up by us with the goal of suppressing the ghost cultivators of the Dead Sea? This way, we can stabilize the internal strife and pressure our enemies. As for the rest of the time, we'll discuss a better strategy. Chapter 2052. Qin Fen did not know that a formation he had casually set up would give a group of peak ultimate gods in Snowfield City a headache. It might even lead to a huge war between Snowfield City and the Dead Sea someday in the future. After he left with Feng Shu, the Nine Heavens snow domain opened and a huge white formation gate appeared in the sky. Qin Fen rushed into the formation gate with Feng Shu. Qin Fen even felt dizzy after teleporting for some distance. When his feet felt the ground again, he saw a strange scene of ice and snow in front of him. Although the holy ground of Snow Domain was covered in ice and snow all year round, the blizzard and wind in front of him were several times stronger than the holy ground of Snow Domain. Even though Qin Fen had stepped into the body condensation realm 4, he felt cold standing in the endless snow. Qin Fen was no longer affected by the cold and heat since he had cultivated to the Holy King realm. It was obvious that the snow was not simple. If a Holy King cultivator came here, he would probably freeze to death. Senior, we've entered the Nine Heavens snow domain. Feng Shu seemed a little excited. He seemed to suddenly remember something and quickly suppressed his excitement before explaining to Qin Fen patiently, Senior, the Nine Heavens snow domain has a total of 9 layers. The entrance to each layer is uncertain. I heard that the formation gate appears randomly in the void. The higher the layer, the more intense the cold. It is said that the 5th layer can even freeze ordinary empty God realm cultivators to death. This is only the effect of the bad weather. The real danger in the holy ground of Snow Domain comes from the killing between the snow beasts and the cultivators here. Senior and I are both body condensation realm cultivators. I think we should try our luck in the first 4 layers. If we're lucky, it'll be best if we can find cultivation resources. If we can't, there's no need to risk going to the higher layers. Qin Fen roughly understood the situation in the Nine Heavens snow domain. However, he did not come for the first 4 layers. Instead, he planned to go all the way to the end. It would be best if he could enter the 9th snow domain. The 2 of them had already begun flying in the first layer. Under their feet was an endless snow field. The spiritual energy was abundant, but it was difficult to see any signs of life. It was as if there was no life at all in the snowstorm. After only an hour, Qin Fen was already freezing. He had been using his true qi to protect his body and did not even wear a defensive spirit armor. If Feng Shu did not know about this, he would have been shocked to death. This was the first time he had heard of a cultivator entering the Nine Heavens snow domain without wearing a defensive spirit armor. Even a cauldron-filling state cultivator would not dare to be so arrogant. Qin Fen had no choice but to activate the heavenly spirit sunflower. The flame jumped in his palm like a sunflower with two blooming petals. When the heavenly flame appeared, the chill on Qin Feng's body immediately dissipated. He felt as if he was bathing in a spring breeze. Senior Qin. Senior Qin, have you noticed that the temperature here seems to have risen? Feng Shu suddenly exclaimed. Qin Fen didn't mention the spirit sunflower heavenly fire so he wouldn't scare Feng Shu. He just smiled and said, I think it's a little warmer. Maybe the snowstorm has weakened. Feng Shu truly believed this to be the case, and he felt incredibly elated. It seemed that after getting to know Qin Feng, everything had become better. At this moment, several black shadows flew over their heads. Feng Shu's expression changed slightly, and he said to Qin Fen telepathically, it's the disciples of the Three Purities formation. Let's take a detour. Qin Fen asked, is the Three Purities formation very powerful? Why should we be afraid of them? Feng Shu was stunned. He immediately remembered that Qin Fen was not a native cultivator of the West Sea continent, so he explained, Qin Senior, the Three Purities formation is the only 7-star formation sect in the snow domain. Their leader, He Qianjin, has reached the level of Formation King and is also a cultivator at the peak of the cauldron-filling realm. There are very few cultivators like him who are talented in formations and martial arts. We can't afford to offend them. Qin Fen suddenly understood. Although he was not afraid of the Three Purities formation, it was better to avoid trouble. Just as they were about to change directions, Qin Fen suddenly stopped in the air. Feng Shu asked, what's wrong, Qin Senior? Qin Fen did not answer. He was using his divine sense to scan the mountain where the disciples of the Three Purities formation had landed. On the cliff side of the mountain, there were 3 blue spiritual herbs. Although it was the first time he had seen such spiritual herbs in real life, Qin Fen recognized them at a glance. They were level 9 cordyceps. This spiritual herb was the main ingredient for refining the recovery pill, which could repair one's dantian. Qin Fen now had the elixir recipe for the recovery pill and could refine it, but he had not collected level 9 cordyceps. Kun President Darklight had both lost their cultivation because their dantians had been destroyed. Qin Feng had been looking for a level 9 cordyceps to refine the Dan returning pill to help the two of them return to the path of cultivation. Now that the spirit grass was right in front of him, how could he miss this golden opportunity? Qin Senior, where are you going? Feng Shu was anxious when he saw Qin Fen rushing into the sky on his flying sword, because Qin Fen was flying in the direction of the Three Purities formation's disciples. Feng Tian only hesitated for half a second and immediately chased after him. When he arrived at the snowy mountain, he found Qin Fen confronting the 5 disciples of the Three Purities formation, and it looked like they were about to fight. Seniors, please calm down. My friend and I happened to pass by here. We have no ill intentions. We will leave now. Feng Shu said to the Three Purities formation's cultivators as soon as he landed. He just glanced at them and found that there were 2 early-stage body condensation state disciples, 2 middle-stage body condensation state disciples, and 1 late-stage body condensation state disciple. Although Qin Fen had trapped Gao Jin, who was at level 7 body condensation state, Feng Shu was not naive enough to think that Qin Fen could beat the 5 people in front of him. Although these 5 people's cultivation wasn't too high, they were all disciples of the Three Purities formation. They usually focused on formations, not cultivation. As long as a cultivator had fought against an array master, they would understand a simple truth. No matter who you want to offend, you should never offend a disciple from an array formation sect. This was because an array formation master had all sorts of strange methods, and they could casually arrange an array formation to take your life. Qin Fan obviously understood what Feng Shu was thinking, but he didn't care. He looked at the 5 people and said, "You found those 3 spirit herbs first. You can take 2 of them and the other one belongs to me. Do you have any objections?" In fact, on the Divine Supreme Continent, there was no such thing as first come, first served. Everything was based on strength. The 5 disciples of the 3 purities formation glanced at Qin Fan and Feng Shu. Seeing that one of them was at level 4 body condensation state and the other at level 1 body condensation state, they didn't take them seriously. They even thought it was ridiculous that they dared to come and steal the spirit herbs. Humph. Where did you come from? How dare you negotiate with us, the 3 purities formation? We want all these spirit herbs. If you 2 don't leave now, don't blame us for being rude. The late-stage body condensation state cultivator stood up and shouted. His body surged with true essence, wanting to show Qin Fan and Feng Shu their strength. Chapter 2053. Feng Shu was nervous, but he immediately said something nice. "Senior, please don't be angry. My friend is really in urgent need of that spiritual herb. Coincidentally, there are 3 of them growing on this cliff. Why don't you let me have one? I'm willing to buy it with spirit stones." Xiao Ming sneered. "Ha! Do you think we disciples of the 3 pure formation lack spirit stones? Plus, do you know what these 3 spirit herbs are? Do you think you can afford them with spirit stones? I'm warning you one last time, get out of here or I'll kill you." Feng Shu really didn't know what a level 9 caterpillar fungus was. This level 9 spirit herb was a top-grade cultivation resource. Many cauldron-filling state cultivators couldn't even find one in their lifetime. "I wanted to leave 2 caterpillar fungus for you, but since you don't want them, I'll take all 3, Qin Feng suddenly said. Xiao Ming and the others were dazed. They didn't expect that someone would dare to rob them after they announced their sect's name. When the 2 body condensation stage disciples came back to their senses, they immediately attacked Qin Feng. Qin Feng casually slashed with his blade and purple light filled the sky. It was as dazzling as the sunset. The sword chi collided with the blade ray and disappeared. The purple ray continued forward and killed the 2 body condensation state mid-stage disciples. Rumble. A loud sound echoed in the sky. Qin Feng killed 2 body condensation state mid-stage cultivators with a simple slash. Everyone was dumbfounded. "You dare to kill the disciples of the 3 pure formation? Do you really think you're so great just because you're a bit stronger? Set up the formation." Xiao Ming yelled after he came back to his senses. The remaining 2 body condensation state early-stage disciples also came back to their senses and threw out a sky full of formation flags. A level 6 trap formation was quickly formed. This clearly wasn't a formation that Xiao Ming and the others could set up. They had perfected it with a formation disc. When the level 6 trap formation was activated, it instantly covered a large part of the mountain. Feng Shu's face was solemn as he yelled at Qin Feng, "Oh no, senior. I'm afraid we've been trapped by a trap array. Ha! Ants like you, now you know how powerful our 3 purities formation is." Xiao Ming laughed maniacally when he saw Qin Feng and Lin Feng trapped. Qin Feng looked at him as if he was looking at an idiot and said, "The 3 purities formation is only a so-so. It looks like Shuai City's #1 formation sect is just boasting. You want to trap me with a mere rank 6 trap formation? Your thinking is too naive." Xiao Ming was shocked. This was the first time he had seen someone who dared to be so arrogant after being trapped in a level 6 trap array. However, he quickly realized that Qin Feng's arrogance wasn't a last-ditch struggle. Instead, he truly had the right to be arrogant. The other party casually threw several array flags into the formation. The original level 6 trap array was instantly changed, trapping the three of them instead. What is going on? The smile on Xiao Ming's face disappeared, replaced by a shocked expression. The two body condensation state primary stage disciples didn't know what was going on. They were dazed like puppets whose souls had been sucked out. Greedy people will never have a good ending. Qin Fen let out a low roar, and the ashy ruler in his hand chopped down. A loud explosion shook the sky. When the snowstorm subsided, Xiao Ming and the other two were nowhere to be seen. Senior Qin, they're all dead. Fang Shu couldn't believe it. Qin Feng nodded and immediately flew to the side of the cliff where the 3 level 9 cordyceps were. A strong chill assaulted him. If Qin Feng didn't activate the spirit sunflower flame in time to resist, he would have been frozen to death by that chill. Fang Shu also rushed over, but he stood 100 meters away and didn't dare to take half a step closer. Senior Qin, what kind of spirit herb is that? Why is it so cold? Qin Feng didn't answer his question because the level 9 cordyceps were used to concoct the returning field pill. The main effect of the returning field pill was to repair damaged dantian. Qin Feng didn't know if there was a similar pill in the West Sea continent, so he didn't want to scare Fang Shu if he said it. He grabbed a level 9 cordyceps and the level 9 cordyceps fell into Qin Feng's hand. The chill became even stronger, it felt like he was grabbing a piece of 1,000-year-old ice. Qin Feng couldn't help but shiver. He increased the intensity of the spirit sunflower flame a few more times and barely managed to control his trembling body. This is bad, master. The level 9 cordyceps withered. Little Pig's voice sounded. Qin Feng's expression changed drastically. The cordyceps in his hand had withered. The spirit chi and water in the stem and leaves had completely disappeared. The originally blue and green leaves had become the color of ice and snow. It was impossible to distinguish them in the snow. How could this be? Qin Feng couldn't understand. Little Pig said, it's probably because of the environment it grows in. The reason why level 9 spirit herbs are so rare is because the environment they grow in is very harsh. I'm afraid the cordyceps can only grow in this extremely cold snow. Once it leaves the snow, it will wither. Qin Feng suddenly understood. He realized that the 1,000 Insect Valley in the South Flat Continent didn't have level 9 cordyceps because the environment there wasn't suitable for the growth of this spirit herb. Now there was a problem. How could he take the remaining 2 cordyceps with him? Qin Feng thought for a long time but couldn't find a feasible solution. The level 9 cordyceps could only survive in extremely cold environments. Even the astral world couldn't grow this spirit herb. Since he couldn't take the cordyceps with him, Qin Feng planned to refine pills on the spot. He would refine the 2 spirit herbs into returning field pills. Senior Qin, what are you doing? Fang Shu was stunned when he saw Qin Feng take out his furnace. I'm going to refine pills. Help me protect me, Qin Feng said. Fang Shu's eyes almost fell to the ground. This was the 9 Heavens Snow region. It was the first time he heard of someone coming here to refine pills. Senior Qin, let's leave quickly. If the 3 Purities Formation's elder group comes, we'll be in trouble, Fang Shu advised. Qin Feng knew this place wasn't safe, but he had to refine the 2 cordyceps on the cliff. Otherwise, he didn't know if he could see this level 9 spirit herb again. I'm very fast at refining pills. Help me protect me. Once someone comes, notify me immediately. Qin Feng didn't waste any more time. He entered the state of refining pills. Feng Shu opened and closed his mouth. He wanted to say something, but in the end, he didn't say anything. When Qin Feng lit up the furnace, he found that the furnace was frozen. The inside of the furnace was covered with a layer of ice, which was harder than stone. The extremely cold environment in the Nine Heavens snow region was really bad. Fortunately, the furnace Qin Feng took out was a supreme-grade spiritual weapon. Otherwise, it would have been frozen. After half an hour, the ice in the furnace was melted by the spirit sunflower's flame. Qin Feng immediately threw the 2 cordyceps into the furnace. Then, he picked the supplementary materials for refining the returning to field elixir from the herb garden in the astral world. The returning to field elixir was a class 3, level 7 king elixir. Qin Feng was a class 6, level 7 king elixir. However, it took him 6 hours to refine this furnace of returning to field elixir. It wasn't because it was his first time refining, but because the environment was really bad. If he didn't have the heavenly fire spirit sunflower, he probably couldn't even light up the furnace. Boom! With a loud sound, 12 returning to field elixir were refined. Probably because of the environment, none of the 12 returning to field elixir could be refined into supreme grade. Most of them were low grade and medium grade. There were only a few high-grade ones. Even so, Feng Shu was dumbfounded. Senior Qin, you really refined the elixir. Qin Feng looked at him in confusion. I'm an alchemist. It's normal for me to refine elixirs. But this is the Nine Heavens snow region. In this extremely cold weather, many cultivators can't even protect themselves. It's really incredible that Senior can refine elixirs. Qin Feng understood why Feng Shu was so shocked. He turned his hand and a blue flame danced in his palm. Even the blizzard around them didn't affect the spirit sunflower's flame. This is the heavenly fire spirit sunflower, ranked 20th on the divine continent. Qin Feng said. Feng Shu's eyes glinted. He stared at the flame in the blizzard. Heavenly Fire Spirit Sunflower. So this is the Heavenly Fire Spirit Sunflower. It's the first time I've seen a heavenly fire in my life. No wonder Senior Qin isn't afraid of the cold here. Qin Feng hid the flame in his palm and put the returning to field elixir into a jade bottle. All right. Let's continue exploring. The 2 of them continued to fly in the first layer of the Nine Heavens snow region. Feng Shu finally understood why his body remained warm. It wasn't because the environment of the Nine Heavens snow region had improved, but because of the heavenly fire spirit sunflower in Qin Feng's body. It was rare to see cultivation resources in the first layer of the Nine Heavens snow region. Even snow beasts were rare. Qin Feng came across a few glacial plain wolves. They looked similar to the glacial plain snow mastiffs he had first synthesized. However, the glacial plain wolves here were very weak. They were comparable to true spirit cultivators. Senior Qin, there's a white light on the snowy mountain ahead. Maybe it's the entrance to the second layer of the Nine Heavens secret region. Feng Shu suddenly exclaimed. Qin Feng also noticed the white light. He was sure that it was a portal, but he wasn't sure if it was the portal to the second layer of the Nine Heavens secret region. A large number of cultivators had gathered on the snowy mountain where the portal appeared. These people were obviously not satisfied with exploring the first layer of the Nine Heavens snow region. They wanted to go to the higher layers. Fellow cultivators, I am Deacon Long Xiang of the West Sea Commerce. Just as everyone guessed, this portal is the entrance to the second layer of the Nine Heavens snow region. However, there's a problem with the portal this time. We need a spiritual source to completely open the portal. Since everyone wants to go in, we'll split the energy needed to open the portal. Everyone looked at each other. They didn't believe Long Xiang's words. The Nine Heavens snow region opened once a year. It was completely free to the cultivators of the snow region city. Therefore, it wasn't the first time many people came to explore. However, it was the first time they heard that energy was needed to enter the portal. Senior Long Xiang, everyone knows that your West Sea commerce is the largest commerce in the Snow Region city. It's powerful, but you can't bully others like this, right? That's right. This Nine Heavens Snow Region is clearly open to the public. Even the people of the city government didn't say anything about taking resources to enter. What right does the West Sea commerce have to take a toll here? Chapter 2054. The crowd was in chaos. Long Xiang quickly pressed his hand down and said, "Fellow cultivators, please calm down. Our West Sea Trade Association is the biggest trade association in Shuayu City. We have countless cultivation resources. Why would we rob? It's just that the secret realm's entrance really has changed and needs large amounts of energy to open. If you don't believe me, you can try entering the formation door." Long Xiang felt like his good intentions were treated as ill intent. He retreated to the side and didn't care about this. Immediately, a few cultivators charged into the air and tried to enter through the formation door. However, when they flew into the air, their bodies passed through the white formation door and they were still flying further away. There's really something wrong with the teleportation formation door. Why is it like this? Long Xiang Deacon, have you found a way to enter the formation door? Tell me, how much energy do we need? Let's all contribute. Many people went over to Long Xiang's side with awkward expressions. Long Xiang did not take the opportunity to put on airs. He said calmly, "When I came, I was like all of you. I wanted to enter the array directly. Later, I found that although the array door was still there, the array had stopped working. I guessed that the array was lacking in energy, so I suggested that we share the energy." Everyone understood. Some people took out spirit stones and other energy sources. Long Xiang looked around and said, "There are 48 people here. Everyone take out 100,000 high-grade spirit stones and throw them into the formation door. If it's still not enough, then everyone take out spirit stones." 100,000 spirit stones was a lot for low-leveled cultivators, but it was nothing to these hollow spirit body condensation stage cultivators. Everyone agreed and threw the spirit stones into the array door. Those spirit stones were really absorbed by the array door. The spirit stones that had piled up like a small mountain were instantly absorbed. Fang Shu took out 200,000 spirit stones and included Qin Fen's share. However, Qin Fen stopped him. "Don't blindly get involved. Useless." "Does Qin Qianbei have a way?" Fang Shu asked. Their voices were not loud, but the cultivators could still hear them. A square-faced old man stepped forward, glaring at Qin Fen and shouting, "Kid, it's fine if you don't want to fork out spirit stones, but you're still making sarcastic remarks here. Which sect are you from?" Qin Fen glanced at the square-faced old man, who was also at body condensation level 4 like him. "I have no sect." The little old man's eyes were filled with a cold sneer. "So you're just an ant without a sect. No wonder you don't know the immensity of heaven and earth, speaking so carelessly in front of so many seniors. Be careful not to lose your life if you speak too much." Qin Feng smiled and didn't say anything more. It wasn't that he was afraid of this person, but that he couldn't be bothered to argue with him. When the first wave of spirit stones was thrown into the array gate, a few cultivators tried to enter the array gate, but found that it still did not work. Rumor has it that the Nine Heavens Snow Domain has existed for thousands of years, and it has been passed down to this day. The Secret Realms Formation Gate has also existed for thousands of years. It is normal for this kind of ancient formation to require a lot of energy. Why don't we each throw in 100,000 spirit stones? Long Xiang said. Now that things had come to this, there was no other way. The crowd once again threw spirit stones into the array gate. Qin Feng knew that the problem with this formation door was definitely not the supply of spirit qi. He kindly reminded everyone, don't waste spirit stones. It's useless no matter how many spirit stones you throw in. Many cultivators stopped what they were doing and their eyes fell on Qin Feng, but no one could recognize him. The square-faced little old man who had been making a ruckus earlier jumped out again and threw 100,000 spirit stones into the array door in front of Qin Feng. Brat, don't you have any spirit stones on you? Why are you making sarcastic remarks here? Why don't you beg me? I can help you pay 200,000 spirit stones. Feng Shu's face turned cold and he shouted at the square-faced old man, Ma Di, don't insult Senior Qin here. We don't lack the 200,000 spirit stones, but this array gate doesn't need spirit qi to activate. It's a waste to throw in more spirit stones. Senior Qin is helping everyone. Ha! Let me see who this is. Yo! Isn't this Feng Shu, the eldest disciple who has just been expelled by the White Sect? Why are you here instead of looking for your little junior sister? I just saw Gao Jin holding your little junior sister in his arms and fighting at the foot of a snowy mountain. How wonderful that scene was. Feng Shu clenched his fists. It seemed that he still couldn't let go of junior sister Changru. Qin Feng knew that he was no match for Feng Shu, so he stepped forward and stood in front of Feng Shu. He looked at Ma Di and said, "You don't have to be a busybody. It's more important to take care of your own life." Mahdi's face turned cold as he scolded, "Brat, who do you think you are? Do you know who I am? I am the little elder of the 6-star great sect, the Free Pool. You are just an ant without a sect. How dare you talk to me?" Slap! A muffled sound suddenly spread. Qin Feng stood in the same place as if he hadn't moved. Mahdi covered his red and swollen face and stared at him with blood-red eyes like an angry beast. "Boy, how dare you? This slap is just a warning. If you dare to talk again, I will kill you." A strong murderous aura surged from Qin Feng as if he had walked out of a mountain of corpses and a sea of blood. The cultivators gathered at the peak of the snow mountain were all stunned. Even the peak cauldron-filling state deacon Long Xiang felt the danger of death. "Arrogant ant, I will kill you with my own hands today." Ma Di was so angry that he didn't sense anything else. He waved his hand and slashed at Qin Feng with a long blade. But before the blade fell, a strange scene appeared. Ma Di's body suddenly stopped in mid-air, still maintaining the posture of leaping forward. A beam of purple light flashed past. Although it was just a flash, everyone was mesmerized by the resplendent light. In the next second, they heard Deacon Long Xiang's exclamation from the crowd. He had already flown far away. "There is killing intent in the purple light, everyone be careful." Boom! As soon as he finished speaking, a loud explosion sounded. Mahdi's body exploded in mid-air and his primordial spirit couldn't escape either. It was destroyed in the aftermath of the violent blade energy. A body condensation state level 4 cultivator died just like that. Everyone sucked in a breath of cold air. When everyone's gaze landed on Qin Feng again, there was a trace of fear and shock in their eyes. This young hero is so fierce. They are both body condensation state level 4, but he instantly killed Elder Mahdi. I'm afraid he hit his cultivation. His true realm is at least cauldron-filling state. We should stay away from him. Young hero, do you have a way to enter the formation door? When he saw Qin Feng instantly kill Mahdi, Deacon Long Xiang was shocked. He realized that Qin Feng wasn't an ordinary cultivator. He must be a famous cultivator in the West Sea continent. Qin Feng had said that the formation door didn't lack energy, so Ma Xiang placed his hopes of entering the second layer of the snow region on him. Chapter 2055. I can't say for sure now. I need to observe for a while more. In short, don't throw spirit stones into the array door anymore. It's a futile effort, Qin Feng said. Everyone was skeptical, but there were no cultivators in the crowd who were proficient in array formations, so they could only wait for Qin Fen's solution. Qin Fen was already sitting cross-legged in front of the array door, using his divine sense to examine the secrets of the array door. This array door seemed to be similar to the floating array door in the Holy Lands of Snow region. It was highly likely that it was created by the same person. The aura of the array was ancient, and the method used to set it up was profound. With Qin Fen's current skill in setting up arrays, it was difficult for him to understand it. However, he found something strange. The teleportation gate in front of him was not damaged at all. As for the energy supply, it was also very abundant. However, the teleportation gate had lost its teleportation function. It was hard to understand. Master, it might have something to do with the sky ceiling formation you set up, Little Pig suddenly said. Qin Feng was shocked. I set up the sky ceiling formation in the Snow Domain Holy Land. How could it affect Snow Domain City? Master, the Great Sky Sealing spell is an ancient spell. Its power is beyond your imagination. It is very likely that the spell has already spread to Shuayu City. Qin Feng was in disbelief. It had only been a few days, and the Great Sky Sealing formation had already extended to Snowfield City. If it continued to extend at this speed, the entire sky above the West Sea continent would be sealed. Moreover, Qin Feng had already understood the effects of the Great Sky Sealing formation. This formation could seal an entire world and cause the spiritual qi to flow backward into the sky. As such, it was almost impossible to ascend to the immortal realm within the formation. Back when he had come to the West Sea continent, Qin Fen had only wanted to seal the formation that led to the North Sand continent. Who would have thought that he would end up sealing the entire Snowfield City? Regarding this matter, he felt very helpless. Putting away these messy thoughts, Qin Feng once again looked for a breakthrough point. After an hour, his eyes lit up. This array gate was actually a complete array formation. It was just that it had been disturbed by other arrays, causing the location of the array gate to deviate. Qin Fen didn't need to think to guess that the interference formation was related to the Great Sky Sealing formation. Otherwise, what other formation could be powerful enough to interfere with an ancient formation? Brother Fong, come with me. Qin Fen suddenly shouted as he stepped on his sword and charged into the sky. Everyone immediately looked over and discovered that Qin Feng was actually flying in the opposite direction of the white light formation door. What is this guy doing? Have you already given up on entering the second layer? I think he can't find the cause of the formation, so he's trying to escape. Deacon Long Xiang, we have already wasted more than an hour. Don't believe that brat's nonsense. I think we should continue to throw spiritual sources into the array door. The crowd was in an uproar and several cultivators had already begun tossing out spirit stones. When Fang Shu discovered the direction in which Qin Feng was flying, he didn't know what was going on. However, he immediately chased after Qin Feng on his sword. Buzz! Just as he rushed into the air, Fang Shu felt a strange energy fluctuation. Even though he was not an array master, he knew that this was the aura of an array formation. Where did those two people go? Don't tell me he used an escape talisman to escape. I got it. The array door has been mirrored in the opposite direction. Long Xiang came to a realization and suddenly leaped towards Qin Feng. West Sea Trading Company disciples, follow me. 5 more cultivators disappeared into the sky. This time, even if the other cultivators were stupid, they would still understand. The array door is really in that void. Everyone, hurry up and enter. How did that young hero see through it? Is he really proficient in formations? When Qin Feng's feet landed on the ground, the first thing he felt was chills all over his body. He immediately activated the spirit sunflower flame, and his body gradually warmed up. Senior Qin, you're not wearing a protective spirit armor. Feng Shu exclaimed. He hadn't noticed this until now. Qin Feng asked, is there a rule that one must wear a protective spirit armor to enter this place? Feng Shu's forehead was full of black lines. Of course, no one had explicitly stated this, but the Nine Heavens Snow Domain was an extremely cold place. The harsh environment had caused many explorers to freeze to death in here. Even a hollow god condensation body expert had to prepare a protective spirit armor here. Forget it. Senior Qin can't be viewed as an ordinary cultivator. Besides, you have the heavenly fire spirit sunflower, so it's normal that you don't wear a protective spirit armor. Feng Shu sighed. Only now did Qin Feng realize that other cultivators had to use a protective spirit armor to enter the Nine Heavens Snow Domain. However, he understood it after thinking about it. Not every cultivator could have a heavenly fire. If he could only use his true fire to resist the cold, he wouldn't be able to. Brother, thank you for leading us to the second layer of the snow domain. At this time, Long Xiang also teleported in with 4 disciples. Many other cultivators followed. Qin Feng just nodded at Long Xiang and didn't want to talk too much. Then, he gave Feng Shu a look to tell him to leave. However, before the two left, a red figure flew over. Qin Feng raised his guard immediately. The other party didn't launch an attack. She landed in front of him and said, I'm Hong Chenwu. Greetings, Senior. Qin Feng had seen too many beautiful women, and the women he had subdued were all devastatingly beautiful. However, he was still stunned by the beauty of the woman in front of him. Or rather, he wasn't attracted by the woman's appearance. She wore a long red dress and a red veil, so he couldn't see her appearance at all. However, the woman's figure was perfect. Even under the loose red dress, it couldn't hide her impressive figure. Moreover, her plump curves weren't exaggerated. They reached the perfect golden ratio. It seemed that any part of her body was just right. A little more or a little less flesh was superfluous. Feng Shu was also attracted by the woman, and even his eyes became hollow. Qin Feng immediately realized that the situation was bad. This woman had used a charm technique, and it was a very high-level one. Even he had almost been tricked. Who are you? What do you want? A wave of killing intent surged out from Qin Feng's body. The killing intent seemed to solidify, and the woman was so scared that she instinctively retreated. Senior, please calm down. I was born with a charm, and I didn't use any magic, Hong Chenwu hurriedly said. The coldness around Qin Feng's body decreased by more than half. He calmly looked around and found that there really wasn't any demonic qi or evil qi in the air. It seemed that this woman was like Zhao Ling Xian and had a rare charm. I came to the Nine Heavens Snow Domain alone to explore. I would like to form a team with Senior. I hope Senior will accept me, Hong Chenwu said. By now, the cultivators outside had all been teleported in. When they saw Hong Chenwu, their bodies became restless. Junior sister, why don't you join our Positive Sun Sect's team? The Positive Sun Sect is one of the 7-star sects in Snow Domain City. We can protect you. A white-clothed middle-aged man walked over. He was handsome and had a strong aura. Qin Feng could tell that this person was a cauldron-filling early-stage powerful cultivator. He thought that Hong Chenwu would definitely join them. However, the woman refused on the spot. Thank you for your kindness, Senior, but I still want to stay by Senior Qin's side. Senior Qin, I hope you can accept me. Chapter 2056. Everyone was stunned. They did not expect the beautiful veiled woman to reject Su Chang's invitation. Su Chang was the young elder of the Seven-Star sect, the Xingyang sect. He was an expert in the cauldron-filling state. Qin Fen did not expect this, but he did not want to bring the veiled woman with him. He felt that this woman was a little strange, as if she had some unknown intention. You should go with the people of the Xingyang sect. I don't like to bring a woman with me. Qin Fen refused. Hong Chen-Wu's large, watery eyes flashed with astonishment. She was very confident in her figure and looks. Up until now, no man had been able to resist her advances. But when Qin Fen looked at her, there was no hint of impurity in his eyes. Kid, what do you mean? Before Hong Chen-Wu could speak, Su Chang suddenly became angry. Qin Fen shook his head with a wry smile. He knew the reason why Su Chang was angry, but he did not want to talk to her. After giving Fang Shu a look, Qin Fen left on his flying sword. How dare you, aunt? I am talking to you, and you are pretending to be deaf and mute. Stop right there. Su Chang roared into the sky and thrust his sword in the direction that Qin Feng had left. The sword chi surged and instantly created a storm in the sky. Oh my God! Is this the power of a cauldron-filling state? It is too terrifying. The body condensation state and cauldron-filling state are indeed incomparable. Even a genius cultivator at the peak of the body condensation state in the West Ocean continent cannot defeat an ordinary early-stage cauldron-filling state. This is a complete change in quality. That young man helped everyone find the entrance to the second layer of the snow realm, but he is about to die. It is such a pity, sigh. The Divine Supreme Continent respects martial arts. Sympathy and compassion are the most worthless things. Su Chang's sword caused the crowd to boil. Many cultivators shook their heads and sighed as if they could already see Qin Fen's death. But in the next second, everyone saw an unbelievable scene. Ha! What is that? The sword chi vortex is frozen. In the midst of the exclamations, the sword chi Su Chang unleashed condensed in the sky and suddenly stopped like a rolling dragon. Some cultivators with sharp eyes noticed that not only did the sword chi stop, but Su Chang also froze in the air. He looked as if he had seen a ghost. However, a streak of purple light tore through the void. It was as fast as lightning, and its radiance was dazzling. Su Chang immediately realized that there was a killing intent hidden in the enchanting purple light, but his body was bound by the field, and he couldn't break free for a while. Seeing that the killing intent was rapidly approaching, Su Chang could no longer care about anything else. He immediately ignited a large mouthful of blood essence and dashed out of the arena. However, his speed was still half a beat too slow. A loud sound exploded in his ears, and he opened his mouth to spit out several mouthfuls of blood. Rumble. Intense explosions sounded one after another, and Qin Feng's cold voice could be heard. That strike just now was just a warning. If you dare to be rude again, I'll kill you. His voice reverberated in the sky, but Qin Fen had already turned into a black shadow and disappeared into the distance. Su Shu did not chase after him. Qin Feng had used the Venue and Sang Chi's blade to injure him internally. No one expected Qin Feng, a body condensation state middle stage cultivator, to be able to injure a cauldron-filling state cultivator. Senior Qin, that strike of yours was too powerful. Fang Shu had already caught up with Qin Feng, but his eyes were still filled with shock. Qin Feng used his divine sense to scan the area 10 miles behind him. He was relieved when he confirmed that Su Shu did not chase after him. In the eyes of others, his cultivation level was far higher than Su Shu's, and he could even kill him. However, only Qin Feng knew that he could injure Su Shu because he had taken the initiative and used the Venue to bind his opponent. However, if Su Shu really fought back, it was hard to say who would be the winner. Qin Feng did not continue the topic with Su Shu and began to look for the entrance to the third layer. The second layer seemed to have no end. It was a beautiful scene covered in white snow. However, the snowstorm was too strong, and the temperature was too low. It was hard to enjoy the scenery. After 3 days in the second layer, Qin Feng still could not find a new entrance. After another half a day, he saw a snow spirit lotus growing on a snowy mountain range. It was Qin Feng's first time seeing a snow spirit lotus on the divine continent. Before this, he had read about it in books. In fact, the snow spirit lotus and the fire spirit lotus were the same plant. However, due to the different growing environment, they eventually grew into different spiritual herbs with different characteristics and medicinal properties. The fire spirit lotus had many grades. Qin Feng had collected 7-leaf fire spirit lotus and 9-leaf fire spirit lotus. The snow spirit lotus also had many grades, ranging from twin snow spirit lotus to 9-birth snow spirit lotus. As for the naming of the snow spirit lotus, it was based on how many snow lotuses a snow spirit lotus bore. If a snow lotus bore 2 snow lotuses, then it would be called twin-born snow spirit lotus. If a snow lotus bore 3, then it would be called threefold snow spirit lotus. At this moment, Qin Feng saw a mountaintop filled with twin snow spirit lotuses. He wasn't sure if this had anything to do with which layer of the snow domain he was in. If he went to the 9th layer of the snow domain, could he find a 9-birth snow spirit lotus? Senior Qin, what kind of spiritual herbs are these? Feng Shu asked. The snow spirit lotus is an extremely precious spiritual herb. It can only survive in extremely cold environments. Qin Feng gave a brief introduction. He thought of the level 9 caterpillar fungus that he found in the first layer. He suddenly realized that his thinking was wrong. It was not that the level of the spiritual herb did not depend on the level of the layer of snow. It was very possible that he could find the 9-birth snow spirit lotus in the level 2 snow spirit lotus. Snow spirit lotus. This is the first time I've heard of this spiritual herb. What are its effects? Feng Shu asked curiously. There are many grades of snow spirit lotus. Different grades of snow spirit lotus have very different effects when used as medicine. This spiritual herb is mainly used to refine snow spirit pills. It can purify bloodlines and spiritual roots, Qin Feng said. Feng Shu looked shocked. I know about the snow spirit pill. It is an emperor pill. It is extremely rare. I'm afraid there are no more than 100 of them in the entire West Sea continent. Qin Feng knew that the snow spirit pill was rare. The reason why it was rare was not because the refining process was complicated. Instead, it was because the snow spirit lotus and the level 9 caterpillar fungus were extremely precious. They were spiritual plants that could only survive in extremely cold environments. Actually, Qin Feng didn't care about the snow spirit pill at all. This was because the snow spirit pill's main effect was to purify bloodlines and spiritual roots. As for bloodlines, only demonic cultivators who practiced bloodline divine skills would think of ways to purify them. As for spiritual roots, the snow spirit lotus could only purify ice-type spiritual roots. It was useless for cultivators with other spiritual roots. However, according to the records, the snow spirit lotus had another miraculous effect, which was to nurture heavenly flames. Moreover, wherever the snow spirit lotus grew, heavenly flames would exist for a long time. After Qin Feng discovered the twin snow spirit lotuses on the snow mountain, he immediately used his divine sense to scan the surrounding area. He didn't find the aura of heavenly flames. Senior Qin, are you going to refine pills here? By the way, what level of alchemist are you? Feng Shu asked. Previously, Qin Feng had refined a level 3 7th grade imperial pill, the returning field pill. However, Feng Shu had never heard of the returning field pill and didn't know its level. I'm an elixir king. Qin Feng thought for a while and said honestly. Feng Shu was stunned. His eyes were filled with shock. What? You're an elixir king. Why? Don't I look like an elixir king? Why are you making such a fuss? Qin Feng laughed. Feng Shu couldn't accept this fact. Only now did he know the real gap between him and Qin Feng. Qin Feng looked less than 30 years old, but he could kill a cauldron-filling realm expert and was an elixir king. This kind of cultivator was considered a top genius in the West Sea continent. If he knew that Qin Feng was also a level 6 formation grandmaster and a low-grade true weapon grandmaster, who knew what kind of expression he would have. I can't believe that the North Sand continent can also cultivate a peerless genius like Senior Qin. Pardon me, but how old are you this year? Feng Shu asked carefully. Qin Feng pondered for a while. He had almost forgotten his age. I'm 26 years old. I've been here for 5 years. What 5 years? Didn't Senior Qin just come to the West Sea continent? Feng Shu was puzzled. Qin Feng smiled bitterly and shook his head. The 5 years he said meant that it had been more than 5 years since he came to the divine mainland from Earth. These 5 years seemed to have passed in a flash. From a true Qi stage cultivator, he had stepped into the body condensation stage 4. Thinking back, even Qin Feng couldn't believe it. What? Senior Qin is only 26 years old this year. Younger than me. Feng Shu finally realized a more crucial piece of information. I've had many fortuitous encounters, so it's not surprising that I've come this far. I don't plan to concoct pills here. The snow spirit pill is useless to you and me. I want to pick these snow spirit lotuses and take them away. Qin Feng changed the topic and began to pick the spiritual plants. However, he soon discovered a problem. These twin snow spirit lotuses were the same as the level 9 caterpillar fungus. They survived by relying on the extremely cold weather here. As long as the snow spirit lotuses were pulled out of the snow, they would immediately wither and die. Qin Feng even tried to pull out the soil where they grew, but the snow spirit lotuses couldn't survive either. As long as these spiritual plants left the 9 heavens snow region and went to the astral world, the extremely cold environment would no longer exist, and the snow spirit lotuses would also die. Senior Qin, these spiritual plants don't seem to be able to take them away. Feng Shu also discovered the situation. Qin Feng flipped his hand, and a ball of blue flame flew out of his palm. The ball of flame was in the shape of 2 blooming lotus petals. It flickered in the violent snowstorm like a small boat on a huge wave. However, the ball of blue flame didn't extinguish. In the end, it landed on the twin snow spirit lotuses on the snow. Since these fire spirit lotuses couldn't be taken away, Qin Feng would use them to upgrade the level of the heavenly fire. When the flame came into contact with the spirit lotuses, a violent explosion occurred. Feng Shu asked in surprise, Senior Qin, what's going on? Qin Feng didn't expect such a violent explosion to occur. When he used the fire spirit lotuses to upgrade the spirit sunflower heavenly fire, he didn't encounter such a situation. Oh no, Master, the snow spirit lotuses aren't upgrading the heavenly fire. They're devouring the heavenly fire, Little Pig suddenly shouted. Qin Feng was shocked. When he regained his senses, he immediately tried to recall the spirit sunflower fire seed. However, he discovered that the heavenly fire's aura had become extremely weak. It was almost undetectable. At the same time, the spirit sunflower's speed had become extremely slow. It was like a firefly flying slowly in a snowstorm. Chapter 2057. How could this be? Qin Fan couldn't understand what was happening. Little Pig said, maybe the snow spirit lotus and the spirit sunflower heavenly fire are incompatible. Master, please put the spirit sunflower away first. Qin Fan didn't need Little Pig's reminder. He had already started to put the spirit sunflower heavenly fire away, but it was very slow. Qin Fan heaved a sigh of relief and flipped through the encyclopedia of medicinal pills. Although he had read about the snow spirit lotus before, he had only skimmed through it. After reading the introduction, Qin Fan suddenly realized that it was a spirit herb that could upgrade the Yin fire attribute. The unusual fires in the Divine Supreme Continent were divided into two types. One was the Yang fire, like the spirit sunflower and the purple serene flame, and the other was the Yin fire. The Yin fire seed was very special. Although it was a flame, it had a cold temperature. The twin snow spirit lotus was a resource that could upgrade the Yin fire, but Qin Fan used it to upgrade the spirit sunflower seed. No wonder it had a devouring effect. Senior Qin, what's going on? Fang Shu couldn't understand what was happening. Qin Fan said simply, it's nothing. We can't take these snow spirit lotuses with us. Let's go find the entrance to the third layer. Qin Fan didn't refine the snow spirit pill on the spot because it was useless to him. Plus, the twin snow spirit lotuses weren't of high quality, so the snow spirit pill he refined was only average. The two stayed in the second layer for another 2 days, but they still couldn't find the entrance. Instead, they saw the masked woman in a red dress, Hong Chen-Wu. Senior Qin, wait for me. Qin Fan wanted to leave on his sword, but he stopped in the snow and waited for Hong Chen-Wu to catch up. He really wanted to know this woman's intentions. What do you want? Qin Fan's expression was cold. Hong Chen-Wu immediately bowed and cupped her fists, performing the standard martial arts etiquette. When she bent her body slightly, her perfect figure was displayed in front of Qin Fan, making him fantasize. Senior Qin, please don't misunderstand. I mean no harm. I want to follow you because I want to go to the higher layer, Hong Chen-Wu said. Who told you I can find the entrance to the higher layer? Qin Fan raised his brows. A few days ago, when Senior Qin found the entrance to the second snow region, I could tell that you were a formation master. I believe that you will definitely be able to find the entrance to the higher snow region, Hong Chen-Wu said honestly. Qin Feng looked at her again, thinking that this woman was definitely not simple. Her thoughts were meticulous, and there was a strange aura around her that even Qin Feng could not understand. Even if I'm a formation master, we're not related at all. Why should I bring you along? Qin Feng's attitude was cold. He wasn't a good person and wouldn't cause unnecessary trouble for himself. Fang Shu was shocked. Only now did he realize that Qin Fan was also a formation master. Senior Qin, there's something I'd like to discuss with you in private. I'm sure you'll be interested, Hong Chen-Wu said. After Fang Shu came back to his senses, he was about to leave when Qin Fan stopped him. Just say what you want. There are no outsiders here. Hong Chen-Wu immediately said, Senior Qin, you should have heard of the Ice Heart Flame, right? Qin Fan's expression changed drastically. Fang Shu cried out in surprise, the Heavenly Fire Ice Heart Flame that's ranked 20th on the Divine Continent. Hong Chen-Wu nodded and said, yes, the Heavenly Fire Ice Heart Flame. As far as I know, the Ice Heart Flame is hidden in the 9th layer of the 9 Heaven Snow Domain. When Qin Fan found the twin snow spiritual lotuses, he suspected that there was a heavenly fire in the 9 Heaven Snow Domain. Now that Hong Chen-Wu revealed this secret, his heart began to stir. Fang Shu had calmed down by now. He showed a doubtful expression. As a cultivator of Snow Domain City, why haven't I heard of the Ice Heart Flame hidden in the 9 Heaven Snow Domain? Qin Fan immediately looked at Hong Chen-Wu with killing intent in his eyes. If this woman dared to play tricks, he would not show mercy to her. Senior Qin, please listen to my explanation. Forget about the cultivators of Snow Domain City, even the Castellan of Snow Domain City doesn't know about this. Otherwise, the ice heart flame would have been taken away by others. Hongchen Wu said anxiously. Then where did you get this information? Qin Fen raised his brows. This is our Black Demon clan's secret. Only the direct descendants of the clan know about it. Fang Shu was shocked. Black Demon clan. You're a cultivator of Demon City. That's not right. How did you sneak in? Qin Fen had a general understanding of the division of the West Sea continent. There were 4 regions here, and Demon City was one of them. It was the holy land of the Demon clan. The 9 Heavens Snow Domain was only open to human cultivators of Snow Domain City. Cultivators of the other 3 regions were not allowed to enter. After revealing her identity, Hongchen Wu no longer had any concerns. She quickly said, I am indeed a disciple of Demon City's Black Demon clan, and I have the orthodox bloodline. As for how I was able to enter the 9 Heavens Snow Domain, I used some tricks. That's not important. What's important is that there really is the ice heart flame in this secret realm. After knowing Hongchen Wu's identity, Fang Shu's attitude changed greatly. The doubt on his face disappeared. He looked at Hongchen Wu with slight surprise and said, Rumor has it that Demon City's Black Demon clan's old demon king tamed an ice heart flame. So it's true. Hongchen Wu immediately said, this is absolutely true. However, Old Demon King had a huge battle with a powerful human cultivator in Snow Domain City. In the end, both sides died. Old Demon King's ice heart flame fell on that battlefield, and the battlefield was the 9 Heavens Snow Domain. Fang Shu murmured, it said that Snow Domain City didn't have the 9 Heavens Snow Domain thousands of years ago. Later, for some unknown reason, an even worse holy glacial land appeared. Later, cultivators came to explore, and the 9 Heavens Snow Domain was created. Qin Fen heard the deeper meaning in Fang Shu's words. He added, are you trying to say that the 9 Heavens Snow Domain's environment is even colder and worse because of the ice heart flame? Fang Shu nodded. Senior Qin, I think it's very likely. It's not just likely, it's the truth. Hongchen Wu had a determined look. Qin Fen was moved. For pill refiners and alchemists like him, having an unusual flame was very important. Plus, the ice heart flame was a yin fire. Qin Fen didn't have this kind of flame yet. I can find the entrance to the higher levels of the snow domain as soon as possible, but we're facing a huge problem. The higher the level, the colder and worse the environment. I'm afraid we'll freeze to death before we reach the 9th level. Senior Qin is right. The 9 Heavens Snow Domain has existed for thousands of years. I heard that only a few people have been able to enter the 9th level. Even many body condensation stage cultivators have stopped at the 5th level. As for the 6th level, who knows how many body condensation stage cultivators and even disaster transformation stage cultivators have frozen to death. With our cultivation, going to the 9th level is a pipe dream. Chapter 2058. Both Qin Fen and Fang Shu were doubtful about being able to enter the 9th layer of the hidden realm of snow. Hongchen Wu hurriedly said, Senior Qin, I know of a secret spell formation in the 5th layer of the hidden realm of snow. It leads directly to the 9th layer. Qin Fen immediately became spirited. How do you know about that formation? Is your information accurate? This secret formation entrance is the highest secret of our mystical demon clan. Only the direct descendants know about it. Senior Qin Fen doesn't need to worry about the accuracy of the information. If I dare to deceive you, you can kill me. After Hongchen Wu said that, Qin Fen slowly began to believe her. However, there was still one thing that Qin Fen didn't understand. Since the Ice Heart Flame was tamed by the old demon king of your mystical demon clan, you must take it with you. Even if I bring you to the 9th layer, what will I get? Don't worry, Senior Chin. Even if I want to take the Ice Heart Flame with me, I know I don't have the ability to. So, I hope that Senior can tame it and do me a favor, Hong Chen-woo said. What favor? I risked my life to sneak into the 9 Heavens Snow region to find the Ice Heart Flame and bring it back to save my father. A year ago, my father was harmed by a villain and was poisoned by a strange poison. I heard that the Ice Heart Flame has a miraculous detoxifying effect. I just want to cure my father. As for the other things, I don't have any other ideas. Qin Fen had always been a good judge of people. Seeing that Hong Chen-woo's anxiety didn't seem to be fake, he said, "All right. I can cooperate with you." Really? I thank you in advance, Senior Qin. Hong Chen-woo was very excited. She immediately bowed, showing her perfect figure again. Qin Fen subconsciously licked his lips. The three of them continued on their way. After knowing the secret of the Ice Heart Flame, Qin Fen didn't have any other thoughts. He just wanted to find the entrances to each layer and tame the Ice Heart Flame as soon as possible. On the 2nd day after he teamed up with Hong Chen-woo, Qin Fen found the entrance to the 3rd layer. On the 5th day, he entered the 4th layer. On the 10th day, he finally arrived at the 5th layer. Compared to the 3rd layer, the 5th layer's environment was dozens of times harsher. Even with Fang Shu's body condensation realm cultivation, he was shivering from the cold. Hong Chen-woo, are you sure there's a secret formation leading to the 9th layer? As soon as they entered the 5th snow region, Qin Fen immediately asked. Even he could feel the cold. With the current strength of the spirit sunflower flame, it could barely resist the cold of the 5th snow region. If they stayed too long, Qin Fen was afraid that everyone would freeze to death. Hong Chen-woo nodded, "Senior Qin Fen, there must be a secret formation, but each layer is huge. It will take some time to find it." Shi Chen-woo was fun. "This layer is too cold. But Senior Shu, I, Qin Fen, and Shu, and Tian, and Fen Tian Wu, will. Qin, Hong said. And said. Chen Tian, Chen Feng, I and Tian, we can that. Chen, Qin Fen, Feng, Chen Feng, we can Qin Fen, Senior Qin, we will find the formation gate leading to the 9th layer. Hong Chen-woo cheered up. If Qin Fen could subdue the Sky Fire Spirit Sunflower, then he must have a way to subdue the Sky Fire Ice Heart Flame, which was ranked 20th. The cold of the 5th layer was beyond their imagination. Even with the Sky Fire Spirit Sunflower, by the 3rd day, the three of them were cold, and their faces were covered with a layer of frost. They didn't find the secret formation gate, but they met Gao Jin's group. "Ha! I was worried that I couldn't find you two ants, but God has opened his eyes and let you come to me." Gao Jin laughed excitedly when he saw Qin Fen and Fang Shu. His eyes quickly fell on Hong Chen-woo. Although she was wearing a veil and her face was covered by ice, her perfect body made Gao Jin's heart beat faster. Qin Fen didn't pay attention to Gao Jin and scanned the others with his divine sense. Other than Fang Shu's junior sister Chang Ru, there were 2 early-stage body condensation realm disciples, and 2 elders with Gao Jin. Qin Fen mainly checked the cultivation of the 2 elders. One of them had already stepped into the 2nd level of the cauldron-filling state, but he couldn't see through the other. "Gao, we still have business to do. We don't have time to deal with you today." Fang Shu immediately revealed a fierce look. He clenched his fists and almost rushed forward to fight. Hong Chen-woo didn't know about the conflict between Qin Fen and Gao Jin, but she could feel that there were 2 super powerhouses in the other party's team. Her beautiful brows furrowed slightly. "Ha! You don't have time to deal with me. Your words are too funny. If I, Gao Jin, don't kill the two of you today, I won't be the genius disciple of the Gao family. Gao Jin's smile became sinister. A few days ago, Qin Fan trapped him with a field and was beaten by Fang Shu. He remembered this grudge. If you want to fight, I'll accompany you. But this matter has nothing to do with Senior Qin and Miss Hong. Let them leave first. Fang Shu was afraid that Qin Fan wouldn't leave, so he immediately gave him a look. Senior Qin, quickly leave with Miss Hong. Qin Fan naturally wouldn't leave his friends behind, but his heart was extremely heavy at this time. If it was just Gao Jin, he wouldn't care at all. But there were two powerhouses on the other side. If they really fought, Qin Fan could at most protect himself. He wouldn't have the time to take care of Fang Shu and Hong Chenwu. You stall Gao Jin. I'll deal with the two old men. Hong Chenwu goes first. Qin Fan quickly made a decision. Fang Shu looked at him deeply and didn't say anything in the end. Although he hadn't known Qin Fan for long, he knew Qin Fan's character. No matter how much he tried to persuade him, it would be useless. However, Hong Chenwu's actions surprised the two of them. She didn't retreat. She stepped forward and stood beside Qin Fan and Fang Shu. She said with a cold expression, "Then I'll deal with the two early-stage body condensation disciples." Qin Fan tried to check Hong Chenwu's cultivation, but he couldn't see through it. However, he knew that this woman didn't have a high cultivation level. She used some unique method to hide her cultivation level. The main purpose of this was to avoid being discovered as a demon when entering the Nine Heavens snow region. Can you do it? Qin Fan asked. It's not a problem to stall them for an hour, Hong Chenwu replied cleanly. All right. You two find a chance to escape. Don't worry about me, Qin Fan said. Seeing that the three of them seemed to be serious, Gao Jin laughed wildly. Ha! You dare to talk about escaping in front of the two elders of the Gao family. You guys are too arrogant. You loser, shut up. You don't have the right to speak here. Qin Fan shouted coldly. Gao Jin's expression turned cold. He gritted his teeth in anger. Up until now, he still hadn't figured out what had happened in that battle a few days ago. His body had suddenly lost control. A mere body condensation level 4 ant dares to behave atrociously in front of me. Do you believe that I won't kill you with one strike? Gao Jin said angrily. Qin Fan smiled coldly. You're no match for me. Don't come out and embarrass yourself. And, I'll fight you one-on-one today. I'll show you how powerful I am. Gao Jin was completely infuriated. He slashed towards Qin Fan. Elders, there's no need to attack. If I'm really in a life or death situation, then you can attack. Gao Jin wanted to prove that he could wash away the humiliation, so he left himself a backup plan. He was still afraid that the strange situation from before would happen again. However, with the protection of the two cauldron-filling state elders, he didn't have to worry at all. That strike swept up true essence and seemed to carry Gao Jin's anger as it surged forward. However, in the next second, the sky seemed to freeze. The true chi whirlpool formed by the blade energy stopped in the air. When the snowflakes fell, it formed a strange sight of a long dragon charging into the sky. Wow! Senior brother Gao Jin's strike is so magical. Is this the Gao family's secret blade technique? Who knows when we'll have the right to learn this blade technique? Once we master it, we'll be invincible among those of the same level. The two Gao family disciples' eyes were filled with envy. The two Gao family elders frowned. Senior brother Mingxi, what is this? Gao Tianxiang asked. He knew very well that this was definitely not a secret blade technique of the Gao family. Gao Mingxi pondered for a moment. His eyes suddenly shot out a bright light. He didn't even have time to answer Gao Tianxiang. He immediately rushed towards the frozen blade energy whirlpool. "You dare!" Gao Mingxi roared. However, before he could finish his words, there was a violent explosion in the air. At this moment, everyone suddenly woke up, and they were immediately shocked by the scene in front of them. The void suddenly returned to normal. Blade energy surged, wind and snow howled. Gao Jin's body actually exploded in the wind and snow. His blood dyed a large area of the snow red. Bang! After the loud bang, there was another muffled sound. Qin Fen was sent flying by Gao Mingxi's true essence giant hand. He spat out a few mouthfuls of blood in midair. "Ayaya! You ant, how dare you kill Gao Jin's disciple in front of me? I'm going to cut you into 1,000 pieces." A cauldron-filling state level 8 expert was furious. This scene stunned the Gao family disciples. They immediately realized another shocking fact. Gao Jin, who was at level 7 of the body condensation realm, was killed in a second? How is this possible? The opponent is only a cultivator at level 4 of the body condensation realm. Gao Jin's big brother was really killed. Even his primordial spirit disappeared. Although it was hard to accept, the truth was in front of them. Chang Ru was so scared that she sat on the snow. However, she quickly stood up from the cold. She looked in the direction of Gao Jin's explosion. There was no one there. Even the blood that Gao Jin had spilled on the snow before his death was covered by the new wind and snow. Gao Mingxi's palm fell. His figure chased after him. A new true essence giant hand fell from the sky with a fierce momentum that could destroy the world. Feng Shu and Hongshan Wu snapped out of their daze, but they were powerless to do so. Forget about going up to help, they couldn't even breathe under Gao Mingxi's furious palm strike. And this is the result of killing the Gao family of Snowfield City. Gao Mingxi roared. The descending palm print accelerated again. It was like a dark cloud pressing on Qin Fen's head. Chapter 2059. Qin Feng didn't even think about it and immediately urged his thoughts. Pa's strange magnetic field fluctuation spread out, and Gao Mingxi's fierce true essence giant hand suddenly hung above Qin Feng's head, like a tumbling mushroom cloud. What's going on? Did you really comprehend field? Gao Mingxi's expression changed drastically. Fai's words shocked everyone present. Gao Tianxiang showed a look of sudden realization. He had some doubts before that Qin Feng had comprehended field, but he didn't dare to believe it. As for the two body condensation stage disciples of the Gao family, they were even more shocked. They had heard of field, but it was the first time they had seen it with their own eyes. It was said that field was a divine skill that only cauldron-filling state cultivators had the opportunity to comprehend. How could this body condensation stage cultivator use it? Senior brother Mingxi, did you see wrong? That should be field, right? Gao Tianxiang asked. Gao Mingxi didn't have time to answer him because a bright purple blade light suddenly appeared in the air. The blade light quickly exploded in the air, and finally dyed the sky red. It was extremely dazzling. Good boy, this old man has underestimated you, but your realm is too low. So what if you comprehend field? Don't even think about trapping me with this kind of strength. Seeing the purple light fall from the sky like a meteor, Gao Mingxi roared to the sky, and condensed true essence chi flow from his body. The air flow surged wildly around him, like a mad dragon rushing out of the sea into the sky, and finally collided with the purple blade light, creating a beautiful fireworks explosion. Rumble. There was another loud noise. The true essence giant hand that stopped above Qin Feng's head fell to the ground, and the field that Qin Feng used had been forcibly torn by Gao Mingxi. The true essence in the handprint was surging, like 10,000 bison galloping over Qin Feng's body. His body was knocked into the snow, and as soon as he landed, he couldn't help but vomit blood. Senior Qin, are you okay? Fang Shu and Gao Mingxi immediately flew over. After seeing the power of Gao Mingxi's palm, the two of them fell to the bottom, and there was no hope of survival. As soon as Qin Fen fell, he sat cross-legged on the ground, grabbed a handful of healing medicinal pills, and threw them into his mouth. After that palm strike just now, he had already figured out Gao Mingxi's realm. She was actually a cauldron-filling late-stage almighty. With Qin Fen's current cultivation base, he could barely kill an early-stage cauldron-filling realm cultivator. Even if he encountered a middle-stage cauldron-filling realm cultivator, he would have to run for his life, let alone a late-stage cauldron-filling realm cultivator. The reason why he was able to survive Gao Mingxi's palm strike was all thanks to the immortal armor of life. This armor was worthy of being an immortal artifact. After such a violent collision, it was not damaged at all. Not even a tiny crack could be seen. But Qin Fen was heavily injured. The skin under the immortal armor cracked, but he soon discovered that the cracked skin was healing at a visible rate. Even the pain disappeared. Master. This is the miraculous effect of the life immortal armor. It can heal wounds on its own, Little Pig immediately explained. This was the first time Qin Fen wore the immortal armor of life to fight. This immortal armor was truly heaven-defying, and its healing ability was amazing. He couldn't help but think that if he was facing a cauldron-filling middle-stage cultivator now, he might have a chance of winning. Even if he was injured, he could quickly heal under the effect of the immortal armor. You and didn't die. How is this possible? Gao Mingxi had already caught up. His figure floated in the air, and he said in a surprised tone. He discovered that Qin Fen had too many secrets. This was clearly an ant with body condensation stage for cultivation, but he comprehended the domain and was able to endure his killing blow. Wait. Is it your spirit armor? Gao Mingxi's eyes suddenly lit up. He stared at the immortal armor of life on Qin Fen's body for a moment, and his expression changed drastically. This isn't a spirit artifact or cultivation artifact. Is this an immortal artifact armor? Immortal artifact armor. Gao Tianxiang and the two body condensation stage primary stage disciples were all shocked. This was the first time they saw an immortal artifact armor. This time, even Fang Shu was shocked. Although he hadn't known Qin Fen for long, he had slowly gotten used to the various surprises Qin Fen brought. However, an immortal artifact armor was something he couldn't accept. Little Pig, what do we do now? Qin Fen was anxious. Once the secret of the immortal artifact armor was exposed, either he or the enemy would die. Master. You're not Gao Mingxi's match. You should hide in the star world. Little Pig sighed. It's impossible to hide in the star world. Otherwise, I wouldn't need to ask you if there's any other way. Qin Fen didn't want to abandon Fang Shu and Hong Chenwu. Although he hadn't known them for long, he liked them. Master, you can try the martial domain. Martial domain. I'm about to die. What's the use of the martial domain? Qin Fen said angrily. Little Pig quickly explained, you can challenge yourself in the martial domain, or you can challenge your opponent in virtual reality. Master, after you enter the martial domain, challenge Gao Mingxi, find his weakness, and kill him in one blow. Qin Fen was enlightened. Actually, he still hadn't completely figured out the use of the martial domain. But now wasn't the time to think about this. He realized another thorny problem. Even if he could enter the star world and challenge the martial domain, what about Fang Shu and Hong Chenwu? Master, you can run first. That way, Fang Shu and Hong Chenwu can be saved, Little Pig said. Pi Qinfen was stunned. His eyes lit up. He leaped into the sky and flew towards the snowy mountain in the distance. P. Senior Qin, where are you going? P. Is Senior Qin abandoning us and running away by himself? P. Fang Shu and Hong Chenwu looked in the direction Qinfen left in disbelief. In their impression, Qinfen wasn't the kind of person who would run away in the face of danger. P. Seeing Qinfen leave, Gao Mingxi's expression changed. He immediately chased after him. Junior brother Tianxiang, stay here with the disciples. Don't let that aunt's accomplice escape. P. Gao Tianxiang's black eyes darted back and forth. After a while, he also chased after Qinfen. You guys watch those two. Great Elder Mingxi and I will be back soon. After the two cauldron-filling state cultivators left, Fang Shu and Hong Chenwu immediately heaved a sigh of relief. Miss Hong, Senior Qin isn't someone who is afraid of death. The reason he ran away was to lure those two cauldron-filling state cultivators away so that we can escape. Fang Shu immediately understood what Qinfen was thinking. Fang Chenwu nodded. Then, she looked at the two Gao family disciples standing in the wind and snow. Then let's kill those two guys first. Then, we'll go help Senior Qin. Okay. I'll be the main attacker. You support me. Fang Shu yelled and had already drawn his sword. But before he could reach the Gao family disciples, a brilliant rainbow light flashed. Then, there was a loud explosion. One of the Gao family disciples, who was at the early stage of the body condensation stage, exploded and died. Miss Hong, you, Fang Shu looked back in disbelief. Hong Chenwu stood on the snowy ground behind him and didn't move. She retracted her hand and took back the fiery red satin. Chapter 2060. Fang Shu was only body condensation state. A few seconds ago, he was worried that he wouldn't be able to beat the two Gao family disciples. He didn't expect Hong Chenwu to instantly kill a cultivator. I didn't expect Miss Hong to be so powerful. I was impolite earlier. Thinking back to how he had proposed to be the main attacker and let Red Dust Dance support him, Fang Shu was filled with embarrassment. I'll leave the other one to senior brother Fang. After Hong Chenwu put away the red silk, she stood in the snow like a red rose in full bloom. She had no intention of attacking again. Fang Shu didn't understand. Senior Qin was in danger. Shouldn't the two of them kill the Gao family disciples as fast as possible and go help? But Hong Chenwu didn't seem to be in a hurry. Although he couldn't figure it out, Fang Shu didn't ask any questions in the end. He swung his sword and charged toward the Gao family's disciple. At this time, Qinfen had already driven the flying cloud all thousands of miles away. With the supply of spirit crystals, the flying cloud all speed was extremely fast. Even Gao Mingxi, who was at the 8th layer of the cauldron realm, was left behind. When he saw Gao Mingxi and Gao Tianxiang chasing after him, Qinfen was secretly delighted. This was just as he had guessed. These two old men were obviously after his immortal armor of life. No one wanted to miss out on an immortal weapon. But Qinfen calmed down from the joy of Fang Shu and Hong Chenwu's escape. He became serious. It wasn't easy to escape from two cauldron-filling state cultivators. Little ant, I advise you to surrender and I'll leave your corpse intact. Otherwise, when I catch up to you, I'll make you wish you were dead. Gao Mingxi's roar spread across the sky. Many passing cultivators took a detour. Seeing that the flying cloud all didn't slow down at all, Gao Mingxi shouted behind him, Junior brother Tianxiang, go back and check on those two disciples. They might not be a match for the enemy. Gao Tianxiang said, don't worry, those two disciples are body condensation state early stage. They can kill a body condensation state ant and a woman. Gao Mingxi rolled his eyes and didn't say anything more. He burned a mouthful of essence blood and the flying sword under his feet sped up. Qin Feng landed the soaring cloud all after flying to a huge snowy valley. He knew that this battle was unavoidable, and it would be a waste of time if he continued to escape. Little ant, have you thought it through? After a few breaths, Gao Mingxi landed in front of Qin Feng. I've thought it through. I want to fight you to the death. Qin Feng's expression was grim. Gao Mingxi was taken aback at first, then he threw his head back and laughed. Ha! You are merely a body condensation level 4 ant and you dare to speak such arrogant words. You don't even have the right to challenge me. Whether I'm qualified or not is not up to you to decide. Watch my blade. Qin Feng didn't waste any words. He had already swung his ruler. He wanted to find a way to get rid of Gao Mingxi before Gao Tianxiang arrived. A purple light rose into the sky. It was incomparably beautiful, but under this enchanting scenery, there was boundless killing intent. Gao Mingxi didn't put Qin Feng's blade in his eyes. He stood in the snow and had a playful smile on his face. You really have a lot of treasures on you. This stone blade is a strange stone that hasn't been completely refined. Unfortunately, your realm is too low and your blade skills are mediocre. It's hard for you to display the power of the stone blade. Since you like to use blades, I'll show you real blade skills. Whoosh! When the purple light was about to fall, Gao Mingxi lightly raised his hand. A supreme grade true artifact long blade appeared in his hand. His movement seemed light and slow, but it carried a violent blade qi that instantly shattered the purple light. Pu qi. Before Qin Feng could react, he felt a sharp pain in his chest. His body flew back and he spat out a few mouthfuls of blood in midair. Gao Mingxi's blade qi was too fast and extremely hidden. It was as if it was one with the air. At the same time, his blade qi was extremely fierce. If Qin Feng wasn't wearing the life immortal armor, he would have died under that blade. Do you know what blade skill this is? Snowfield City's Gao family doesn't teach outsiders the blade skill Phantom Blade. The Phantom Blade focuses on speed and uses illusion and concealment as its soul. Ever since I practiced the Phantom Blade to great success, I haven't met a match in the same realm. Gao Mingxi's face was full of confidence. However, he had the capital to be arrogant and conceited. Even if Qin Feng had several sword skills, compared to Gao Mingxi's sword, it was much worse. With a slight thought, Qin Feng entered the astral space. After swallowing a large amount of healing pills, he immediately entered the system's marshaled domain interface. Senior brother Mingxi, where's that ant? Gao Tianxiang finally caught up, but he couldn't even see a shadow in the snow. Gao Mingxi immediately used his divine sense to scan the surrounding 100 li. He couldn't find Qin Feng's aura. He suddenly frowned and muttered to himself, impossible. That ant actually disappeared into thin air. Disappeared. Senior brother's lie is a bit fake. Gao Tianxiang said in a strange tone. Gao Mingxi was suddenly unhappy and said coldly, what do you mean? Senior brother, there's only the two of us here. There's no need for you to put on an act. Everyone has their eyes on the treasures on that ant's body. That immortal armor can be given to senior brother. However, he must have a lot more treasures on him. Senior brother, you can't possibly keep all of them for yourself, right? Gao Mingxi said angrily, what nonsense are you talking about? I didn't kill that ant at all. I don't know where he escaped to. Gao Tianxiang had already used his divine sense to scan the area. There was no one else within dozens of li. No matter how powerful Qin Feng's flying ship was, it was impossible for him to escape so fast. Senior brother, it's a bit boring for you to do this. You are at the 8th realm of the filling tripod realm. Can that body condensation realm ant disappear under your eyes? Gao Tianxiang said. Gao Mingxi was furious. If he really got a treasure from Qin Feng, it would be fine. However, he didn't even get a hair. I'll say it for the last time. That kid escaped. Let's split up and look for him. Whoever finds him will send a flying sword message. Gao Mingxi had already left on his flying sword. Gao Tianxiang stood coldly in the snow and looked in the direction of his senior brother's departure. He gritted his teeth and said, Gao Mingxi, you actually took all the treasures for yourself. Isn't it just because your cultivation is a bit higher than mine? Just you wait. When my cultivation surpasses yours, I'll make you pay. Qin Feng didn't know about the quarrel between Gao Tianxiang and Gao Mingxi. Otherwise, he would be overjoyed. He had already entered the martial domain and was in a chaotic space. Little pig, how do I use the martial domain? Master, as long as you think of your opponent in your mind, the martial domain will automatically form, Little Pig said. Qin Feng immediately thought of Gao Mingxi and recalled the process of his battle with Gao Mingxi not long ago. A moment later, there was a loud noise in the chaotic world. A figure descended from the sky, looking exactly like Gao Mingxi. This martial domain is really amazing. Qin Feng sighed, but just as he finished speaking, there was a loud noise from his body. His whole body exploded into pieces. Damn! What's going on? I'm already dead. Qin Feng said in shock. Master! The martial domain is a virtual battle. You are only an existence of consciousness. You are immortal. Chapter 2061. Qin Feng immediately calmed down. Since the martial domain was an existence in the form of a thought body and could not be killed or destroyed, what did he have to worry about? With just a thought, Qin Feng's shattered body reformed and healed. He was revived on the spot. Gao Mingxi revealed a shocked expression and stared at Qin Feng for a moment before saying, Huh? Aren't you dead? How did he come back to life? Qin Feng was dumbfounded. He began to wonder if the Gao Mingxi in the martial field was a simulation. It felt no different from the real Gao Mingxi. Master! Although the martial realm is a battle simulation, the experience is extremely realistic. Not only can this space simulate the opponent's cultivation level, but it can also simulate their IQ, voice, appearance, and body shape to make them look real. Little Pig said. Qin Feng finally had a deep understanding of the strength of the martial domain. If he tempered himself here, his strength would definitely soar. Little ant, if worse comes to worst, I'll just kill you again. It's just a matter of raising my hand. Gao Mingxi's furious roar rang in Qin Feng's ears, and he immediately woke up. A giant hand made of true essence fell from the sky like a huge mountain. Without thinking, Qin Feng spread out the battlefield and temporarily trapped the violent true essence aura of the giant hand. Little ant, you dare to use this move against me? Break for me. Gao Mingxi sneered and immediately burned a mouthful of blood. True essence crazily surged from his body, and after several breaths of time, there was a loud explosion at the edge of the arena as Gao Mingxi rushed out. The floating true essence giant hand fell to the ground and blasted Qin Feng 100 meters away. This scene was exactly the same as his previous battle with Gao Mingxi. There was no chance of survival. In the martial domain, Qin Feng's consciousness form did not wear the life immortal armor. Unexpectedly, it was directly destroyed by the power of Gao Mingxi's palm. When he saw this scene, he felt a lingering fear in his heart. His destroyed body quickly recovered and once again stood in front of Gao Mingxi. How did you resurrect? You have an immortal body. Gao Mingxi was dumbfounded. Qin Feng sneered and said, cut the crap, let's fight again. Gao Mingxi was furious. He was a cauldron-filling stage 8, but he couldn't even kill a body condensation state intermediate stage ant. If this matter were to spread out, wouldn't he be laughed at to death? That seemingly light palm strike caused half the sky to tremble. A huge Xin Yuan palm print covered the sky like clouds and mist, and Qin Fan once again displayed the field. But it was a little different from last time. The moment he trapped the Xin Yuan big hand on the spot, Qin Feng leaped into the sky and instantly arrived behind Gao Mingxi. With a wave of his hand, the Tsang Qi brought with it a wave of purple saber qi. Gao Mingxi immediately burned his blood essence to break out of the field, but just as he flew to the edge of the field, he was hit by the saber light, and a loud noise came from his body. Ayayaya! An ant like you actually dared to injure this old man. Under the explosion, Gao Mingxi's clothes were tattered, and his white hair was disheveled. He looked like a madman, no longer having the demeanor of an expert from before. That blade did not cause much damage to him, only some superficial wounds. However, he felt that his dignity had been ruthlessly trampled on. He turned around and slashed again. Puchi! This was the second time Qin Feng had seen Gao Mingxi attack, but his body was still instantly destroyed. His opponent's saber qi was too fast and extremely stealthy, making it impossible for anyone to figure out its trajectory. Ha ha ha! An ant like you also dared to provoke this old man's dignity. You can't even resist the power of this old man's saber. It's really ridiculous. Seeing Qin Feng die, Gao Mingxi looked up to the sky and laughed wildly. But halfway through his laughter, a familiar voice came to his ear. Oh. Really? When did I die? Why didn't I know? Gao Mingxi's old eyes widened, and he looked at Qin Feng standing in front of him in disbelief. He had forgotten how many times he had killed Qin Feng. How could this ant still be alive? An ant like you, if this old man can't kill you, I will change my surname to yours. Gao Mingxi was completely furious. The big saber in his hand slashed down, and the saber qi surged. Puchi! This time, Qin Feng's left arm was directly cut off, but he was pleasantly surprised because he found some clues in his opponent's saber skill, and it was with that discovery that he avoided Gao Mingxi's killing blow. You actually dodged my saber power. In the martial domain, Gao Mingxi was going crazy. The saber turned, and a new saber light blended into the air and flew over. Qin Feng's right arm was cut off, but he showed an even more joyful expression. He understood the mystery of the Gao family's phantom saber, which could transform the saber qi into shape and hide in the void. Previously, in the 5th level of the 9 Heaven Snow domain, Gao Mingxi transformed the saber qi into a blizzard. Now in the martial domain, he transformed the saber qi into chaotic qi. His saber power was originally fierce and turbulent, and it was invisible. When the opponent discovered the danger, it was already in a situation of certain death. No matter how fast his reaction was, he would be cut off like Qin Feng. Gao Mingxi's eyes were full of frost when he failed to kill Qin Feng with 2 saber strikes. However, when he slashed for the 3rd time, a strange magnetic field fluctuated in the air. This time, Qin Feng did not set up the field to trap Gao Mingxi. The scope of the field only extended to a range of 100 meters in front of him. As soon as the field was formed, Qin Feng immediately released his divine sense and clearly captured the hidden saber qi. Swish! This time, the saber power missed, and there was a harsh sound of breaking wind. Gao Mingxi looked incredulously at Qin Feng, who had lost his arms but could still avoid his saber power, and said in surprise, "How did you do it?" What answered Gao Mingxi was the Zhangqi saber. The bright purple light disappeared, and there was not even the slightest movement in the air. It felt like an ordinary child saber strike, without any aura fluctuations. But in the next second, Gao Mingxi's expression changed dramatically. He seemed to want to raise his hand to stop something, but before he could complete his action, a loud explosion came from his body. Rumble. The purple light only appeared when it fell on Gao Mingxi's body. The saber chi surged and shook Gao Mingxi back a few steps. The true weapon armor on his body cracked, and he couldn't help but spit out a mouthful of blood. Oh yeah! Qin Feng cheered in his heart. He finally found a chance to fight back. Even if he had burst out with all his strength, he could only cause slight damage to Gao Mingxi, but this was already a big breakthrough. Ayayaya! You little ant, I want you to die a horrible death. Gao Mingxi showed a crazy expression, and the long saber in his hand danced wildly, instantly forming a surging saber chi whirlpool, surging like a tsunami. The fierce saber power made Qin Feng breathless. He had no room to dodge, and was instantly drowned in the surging saber chi wave. This won't do, the gap between me and that old monster is too big. I can't kill him with just martial arts and understanding of the field. Qin Feng was full of depression. He thought about going into closed-door cultivation first. If he could step into the late stage of body condensation stage, he might have a chance to fight. But the situation was critical now. If he disappeared for too long, Gao Tianxiang and Gao Mingxi would definitely capture Fang Shu and Hong Qinwu first. Master, try breaking Gao Mingxi's defensive armor first, Little Pig suddenly reminded. Qin Feng was a bit confused, and his eyes fell on Gao Mingxi's armor. It was a low-grade true weapon defensive armor, which was nothing in Qin Feng's eyes. Gao Mingxi was a cauldron-filling late stage, and this level of armor looked a bit shabby on him. Master. Gao Mingxi is a cauldron-filling late stage, but he is wearing a low-grade true weapon armor. Don't you think it's strange? Little Pig said. It's indeed strange, but what does this have to do with me killing him? Qin Feng was puzzled. Master, look carefully at that armor. It is a mystic fire attribute true weapon armor. It should be used to resist the cold. Qin Feng's eyes lit up, and he showed a look of realization. Now that he had come to the 5th layer of the snow region, Qin Feng already felt cold. Even with the heaven fire spirit sunflower protecting his body was shivering. Also, Qin Feng learned from Fang Shu that the cultivators who came to the 9 heavens snow region would wear several armors, and it would be best if there was a fire attribute armor. From the looks of it, Gao Mingxi's low-grade true artifact armor was used to resist the cold. If this mystic flame armor was broken, Gao Mingxi would be affected by the extreme cold environment of the snow region and his cultivation would definitely drop. After thinking about the pros and cons, Qin Feng resurrected again, and after a few battles, he found that he had a way to break Gao Mingxi's mystic fire armor. However, the martial field was located in a chaotic space. Even if Gao Mingxi's armor was broken, it would not be affected by the environment. However, Qin Feng found that after his mystic fire armor was broken, he changed it into a high-grade true weapon armor. From this, it could be seen that Gao Mingxi did have a better grade of armor. It was just that those armors were not fire attribute, so wearing them in the 9 heavens snow region had no effect. Junior brother, did you find that ant? In the 5th layer of the snow region, Gao Mingxi flew for thousands of miles, but still did not find Qin Feng's figure. Helplessly, he rushed back to the place where Qin Feng disappeared. Gao Tianxiang did not look for him at all. He stayed where he was, waiting for Gao Mingxi to come back. He still thought that Qin Feng was killed and the treasures were taken by his senior brother. Senior brother Mingxi, if you want to take the treasures for yourself, then take them for yourself. There are only 2 months left before the opening of the snow region. We should go find the entrance to the higher layer of the snow region. Gao Tianxiang said in a strange tone. Gao Mingxi's face turned cold as he scolded, "How many times do I have to say it? That ant disappeared, and I didn't get anything." Gao Tianxiang curled his lips and said no more. Since his senior brother was determined to take everything for himself, it was useless to say anything more. "I'll guard here. You go find the 2 disciples and then meet up with me." Gao Mingxi was still unwilling. That was an immortal weapon armor. Although Gao Tianxiang was reluctant in his heart, but his realm was not as good as his senior brother, so he had to fly away on his sword. Not long after Gao Tianxiang left, a person flew out of the void. Gao Mingxi suddenly stood up from the snow and stared at the sky incredulously with a pair of old eyes. "Where did you hide, ant?" The cultivator who came in the air was Qin Feng, which was completely beyond Gao Mingxi's expectations. He had just swept the nearby snow region with his divine sense a few seconds ago, but he did not find Qin Feng. "It doesn't matter where I went. The important thing is that I'm back." Qin Feng was confident. Gao Mingxi felt that he seemed to be a different person. He wondered, "What can you do even if you're back?" "Of course I can kill you," Qin Feng shouted. Chapter 2062. Gao Mingxi was taken aback for a moment and then burst out laughing. "Ah! Did I hear it wrong? You want to kill me? Have you lost your mind?" Qin Feng said with a serious face, "I'm not crazy. You're just at the late stage of the cauldron-filling state. Why can't I kill you?" Gao Mingxi stopped laughing and looked at Qin Feng suspiciously. He wanted to find flaws in Qin Feng's subtle expressions or eyes, but Qin Feng's face was serious and did not seem to be joking. But this was clearly a big joke. A cultivator in the middle stage of the body condensation stage wanted to kill a late stage of the cauldron-filling state. No one would believe it no matter which continent of the divine supreme continent it was. Moreover, a cauldron-filling state cultivator was already considered to be at the top of the divine supreme continent. Even if there were disaster transformation, true form, and even true god powerhouses, how many of them were there in the vast divine supreme continent? However, Qin Feng said that a cauldron-filling state cultivator was worthless. In Gao Mingxi's opinion, it was really arrogant. An ant that doesn't know the immensity of heaven and earth, this old man will let you see the horror of a lower cauldron-filling state cultivator. Gao Mingxi was too lazy to talk nonsense and slammed his palm. This scene was exactly the same as the situation in the martial domain, and Qin Feng did not know how many times he had experienced such a scene in the martial domain. His expression did not change in the slightest. He displayed the field with ease and then slashed the ruler towards the edge of the field. There was a loud explosion. Qin Feng's movements were smooth and smooth. When the surging blade aura exploded on his body, Gao Mingxi's old eyes almost stared at the ground. He stared at Qin Feng incredulously and shouted, "How is this possible? How did you know that I was going to burn my blood essence to force my way out of the field?" Qin Feng smiled without saying a word and then slashed again. Although he found a way to break Gao Mingxi's mysterious fire armor in the martial domain, it was also an extremely difficult act. He had to grasp every minute and second, and the slightest mistake would result in his death. As Qin Feng expected, Gao Mingxi was enraged and slashed with his long blade after a roar. In the blizzard, Qin Feng could not see the blade aura. Qin Feng immediately displayed the field and found that there was a violent blade aura hidden in the blizzard. Rumble. Gao Mingxi's entire person was stunned when the saber qi missed. Ever since he cultivated the Gao family illusion blade to the phenomenal success stage, no one under the same cultivation level could dodge his blade force. Even cauldron-filling state cultivators would be at a disadvantage. He didn't expect a body condensation state middle stage ant to break it. How did you do it? Gao Mingxi even forgot to continue attacking. Qin Feng smirked coldly. Everything was within his control. Didn't you use the Gao family's phantom blade once before? I've learned it. This is impossible. The Gao family's phantom saber is profound and unfathomable. I've trained hard for decades to master it, but you can understand its essence just by looking at it once. Do you think I'm a 3-year-old kid? Gao Mingxi wouldn't believe it even if she was beaten to death. Qin Feng said nonchalantly, "You've cultivated for dozens of years because your aptitude is too poor. If you don't believe me, then open your dog eyes wide and take a good look." Whoosh! As soon as Qin Feng finished speaking, he swung his ruler. The originally resplendent purple saber light did not appear, and there was not even a trace of saber aura in the wind and snow. Gao Mingxi stood in the snow as if he was a puppet whose soul had been sucked out. The moment Qin Feng swung his blade, he realized that Qin Feng wasn't lying. This ant had only seen him use the phantom blade once and could understand the essence of the technique. In just a breath, a loud sound exploded on Gao Mingxi's body. He could have dodged this strike, but he was so shocked that he didn't even have the intention to dodge. Qin Feng's full-force strike didn't cause much damage to Gao Mingxi. The latter spat out a mouthful of blood and took 2 steps back before standing in the snow as if nothing had happened. However, Qin Feng didn't care about Gao Mingxi's injury. He used his divine sense to scan the mystic fire armor and found that there were many cracks on the armor. He was overjoyed. "I really underestimated you, Ant. You're only at body condensation state level 4, but you can injure me. Even in the entire West Sea continent, you're a top genius cultivator of the same generation. Unfortunately, you're blind and offended me. Only death awaits you." Gao Mingxi's old eyes shot out light again with infinite murderous intent. Qin Feng didn't wait for him to talk nonsense. He quickly swung his ruler dozens of times, then shot out several spirit sunflower flames and took out the 100-mile light sniper to bombard him. 3 powerful attacks landed at the same time, blasting countless holes in the snowy ground. The current 100-mile light sniper was powered by a super energy stone, and its power was boundless. When Qin Feng threw out all of his trump cards, the ferocious attack gave Gao Mingxi a fright. He didn't even have time to use his sword skills. His body was constantly hit, and like a drunkard, he stumbled back. Rumble. After a full incense stick of time, the explosion finally subsided. Gao Mingxi's robe was tattered, his hair was disheveled, and he looked extremely embarrassed. He no longer had the demeanor of an expert. But he grinned and a crazy smile appeared on his face. "Ha! Don't be unconvinced that you're an ant. So what if I stand here and let you attack? Can you kill this old man?" Qin Feng already knew in the martial domain that it was difficult for him to kill the opponent with his current cultivation. His divine sense swept toward Gao Mingxi's mystic fire armor. The armor was covered with dense cracks of spider silk. As Gao Mingxi's aura soared, it completely turned into pieces and scattered everywhere. "Ha! Who said I was killing you? I just wanted to break your armor." Qin Feng heaved a long sigh of relief. His first step had been completed. Gao Mingxi's expression changed greatly. He immediately looked at his body. When he realized that the mystic fire armor was broken and blown up, anger and nervousness flickered in the depths of his old eyes. Without the mystic fire armor, Gao Mingxi's body was immediately covered by the wind and snow. A layer of ice formed on his face, and his appearance could no longer be seen. "Ayayaya! You reckless ant, how dare you trick me? If I don't kill you today, I'll go back to farming in seclusion." Gao Mingxi was burning with anger, and his body suddenly burst into raging flames. He had turned into a man of fire, walking in this world of ice and snow looked extremely strange. But the flames were quickly extinguished, and some were even frozen in the wind and snow. Flames were frozen in the layer of ice, and the scene was incomparably magical. Gao Mingxi was so angry that he gritted his teeth. He wanted to kill Qin Feng by burning his blood essence, but it turned out that he had underestimated the cold weather of the fifth layer of the snow region. It was not a place that people should come to. Gao Mingxi, today is the day you die. Qin Feng immediately noticed Gao Mingxi's abnormality and slashed down with his ruler. When the dazzling purple blade light appeared, it had already exploded around Gao Mingxi. Without the mystic fire armor, he felt that his cultivation had plummeted, and he didn't even have a chance to fight back. Isn't this guy's change too big? Qin Feng was surprised. Little Pig said quickly, Master. We all underestimated the power of the Nine Heavens snow region. The bad weather here is extraordinary. If not for the Spirit Sunflower Heavenly Fire armor, I'm afraid Master would have frozen to death. Chapter 2063. Gao Mingxi was sullen. He was a cauldron-filling realm level 8, but he was being beaten by a body condensation realm 4. But there was nothing he could do. After the mystic flame armor broke, a bone-chilling cold crazily surged forth. He had no choice but to use a portion of his true essence to protect his body in order to resist the extremely harsh cold environment. Even his movements and reaction speed had slowed down. Stop fighting, I can let you go. You can leave now, Gao Mingxi suddenly shouted. Qin Fen sneered. The ruler in his hand kept swinging, and the 1,000-mile race sniper was also bombarding him. You're in a dead end now. Do I need to run? Gao Mingxi couldn't accept the reality, but he had to learn to accept it. He could even feel death approaching. He couldn't remember how long it had been since he last felt it. At this moment, Gao Mingxi's eyes lit up. He even gave up resisting and stared at Qin Fen. You're just a body condensation realm 4, but you have the ability to kill me. You have an immortal armor, and you've comprehended a field. Which sect are you from? Qin Feng thought Gao Mingxi was playing some kind of trick, so he didn't care about his reaction at all. His powerful attacks didn't stop at all. You really are from that sect. I didn't expect you to come out again. Looks like the Divine Continent's Millennium Calamity is coming. It doesn't matter if I die sooner or later. The panic in Gao Mingxi's eyes disappeared, and he looked relieved. Qin Fen was curious. He didn't think Gao Mingxi was pretending. Which sect are you talking about? Qin Fen asked. You don't need to hide anymore. You must be from the Kobe sect. How many cultivators did you send to the West Sea continent? Gao Mingxi seemed to have seen through everything. Qin Fen was depressed. He had no idea what Gao Mingxi was talking about. But he had heard of the Kobe sect. It was a sect founded by the strongest cultivator in the Divine Continent, King Void God. It was located in the East Field continent. I don't know what you're talking about. Go to hell in peace. Qin Fen didn't want to talk anymore. Several balls of heavenly fire shot out, followed by a heavy blow from the ruler. Gao Mingxi didn't dodge at all. He looked up at the sky and sighed. The Kobe sect's reappearance in the martial world will bring bloodshed to the Divine Continent. I'm curious. Does the Kobe sect really have a system inheritance? Rumble. As soon as Gao Mingxi finished speaking, a violent explosion spread around him. When he heard the word system, Qin Fen's expression changed drastically. He wanted to ask Gao Mingxi a few more questions, but he discovered that this cauldron-filling 8th level almighty had already died. System inheritance. What is that? Qin Feng muttered to himself. He could not help but think of the largest public city in the South Flat continent, Tiantong City. The four great elders there all had systems. Qin Fan couldn't figure out the answers to these questions in such a short amount of time, so he hurriedly tossed aside his jumbled thoughts and hurried toward the place where he'd met Gao Jin and the others. He wondered how Feng Shu and Hong Chenwu were doing. Half a day later, Qin Feng returned to the snow-covered land and saw Gao Tianxiang chasing after Feng Shu and Red Dust Dance. "You two ants, hurry up and surrender. Otherwise, when this old man catches you, I will make you suffer a fate worse than death." Gao Tianxiang did not put the two of them in his eyes at all. His body constantly surged with violent true essence. Clearly, the two of them had been on the run for some time. Both of them were injured. Qin Feng thought that if he had come a few hours later, Feng Shu and Hong Chenwu would have died without a doubt. Swoosh! Just as Qin Feng rushed over, Zhang Qi slashed through the air. There was no beautiful purple light in the air, and it was difficult to even detect the fluctuations of true essence. However, after a few breaths, Gao Tianxiang, who was flying through the air, suddenly stopped. He did not even have time to swing his saber in defense. The purple light flashed and disappeared, and a loud sound exploded around him. Feng Shu and Hong Chenwu were stunned, and they turned around to look. When they saw Qin Feng appear and injure Gao Tianxiang with a single slash, they were so shocked that their eyeballs fell to the ground. "It's you, you ant. You're still alive." After Gao Tianxiang recognized Qin Feng, he even wondered if he was dreaming. However, he quickly threw his head back and laughed wildly. "Ha! I didn't expect senior brother to be telling the truth. I really let an ant like you escape. The heavens really have eyes, sending you to this old man of your own accord." Gao Tianxiang did not understand the situation at all. If he knew that senior brother Gao Mingxi had been killed by Qin Feng, he would definitely be scared to death. "Senior Qin, you're not that guy's match. Hurry up and run. The three of us should run in different directions. That way, at least two of us will have a chance to survive." Feng Shu and Hong Chenwu did not think Qin Feng's chances were good. The difference in cultivation level between Qin Feng and Gao Tianxiang was too great. Qin Feng did not care. He raised his hand, and the ruler fell again. Rumble. Before Feng Shu and Hong Chenwu could see where the saber energy was, a loud sound exploded in the air. This time, Gao Tianxiang dodged the saber energy, but his face was full of shock. "You used the Gao family's phantom saber? Where did you secretly learn it from?" Qin Feng sneered. "Ha! Do I need to secretly learn such a simple saber technique? When I killed Gao Mingxi, that old bastard attacked me twice, and I learned it." There was too much information in this sentence. Gao Tianxiang was completely stunned, but he quickly laughed wildly again. "What did you say? You killed senior brother Mingxi? Ha ha ha. Do you think I'm a 3-year-old child? With your IQ, I think you're even lower than a 3-year-old child. You're obviously going to die, but you don't have the slightest awareness." As soon as Qin Feng finished speaking, he released the battlefield. Gao Tianxiang's laughter stopped abruptly, and a look of horror and disbelief appeared on his face. He did not even have time to say a word before he was killed in the explosion. Even though they saw it with their own eyes, Feng Shu and Hong Chenwu found it hard to believe that a second-stage cauldron-filling state expert had died so easily. After killing Gao Tianxiang, Qin Feng did not even bother to look at him. It was not the first time he had killed a cauldron-filling state expert. Before Gao Tianxiang, he had killed several cauldron-filling state experts. "Are you okay?" Qin Feng landed beside the two of them. Feng Shu suddenly woke up. "Senior Qin. You killed Gao Tianxiang, the young elder of the Gao family." Qin Feng said indifferently, "I also killed Gao Mingxi." The two of them gasped. Although Qin Fen had told Gao Tianxiang that he had killed Gao Mingxi, Fang Shu and Hong Qinwu hadn't believed him at all. They thought that it was Qin Fen's tactic to disrupt Gao Tianxiang's state of mind. However, after witnessing Qin Fen's invincible might in killing Gao Tianxiang, the two of them felt that he was telling the truth. What about the remaining two disciples of the Gao family? Qin Feng changed the topic, unwilling to explain more about killing Gao Mingxi. Hong Qinwu said, "Those two have been killed by me and senior brother Fang Shu." Qin Feng breathed a sigh of relief. He didn't care about the two body condensation state primary stage Gao disciples, but he couldn't let them get away. They knew he had an immortal artifact armor. If the news got out, it would cause a lot of trouble. Chapter 2064. Fang Shu, are the people from the Gao family all dead? Chang Ru suddenly flew down from a snowy mountain with a pitiful look on her face. The joy in Fang Shu's eyes disappeared in an instant. He stood expressionlessly in the snow and said, "Chang Ru, from now on, we are strangers. Take care of yourself." Chang Ru hurriedly hugged Fang Shu's arm and cried, "Senior brother Fang Shu, don't you recognize junior sister Chang Ru anymore? The reason why I followed Gao Jin is because I have an unspeakable difficulty. When Gao Jin came to the White faction to propose marriage, even the sect leader didn't dare to reject him. I had no choice but to leave with him. In fact, the person I've been thinking about day and night for the past few years is you, senior brother." This woman's acting skills were really good. She spoke as if she was telling the truth. If she were on Earth, she would definitely be an award-winning actress. However, Qin Fen could tell that this woman was lying. Even though she was sweet-talking and crying, there was not a trace of love in her eyes for Fang Shu. "Senior Qin, Fang Shu was still worried about Chang Ru and wanted to ask for Qin Fen's opinion. Qin Fen interrupted him and said, "There are plenty of fish in the sea." As a woman, Hong Qinwu's sixth sense was very sharp. She said more directly, "Senior brother Fang Shu, that woman doesn't deserve you." Both of them expressed their intention to persuade him. Even though Fang Shu didn't know what was going on, he understood what was going on. "Junior sister Chang Ru, you should leave." Fang Shu let out a long sigh as if he wanted to cut off this ill-fated relationship. Chang Ru didn't really want to return to Fang Shu's side. When she saw Qin Fen kill Elder Gao Tianxiang, all her thoughts were on Qin Fen. Since she couldn't start with Fang Shu, Chang Ru directly expressed her intention. She swayed her hips and walked in front of Qin Fen with a charming expression. "Senior, you killed my previous partner, Gao Jin. Now, senior brother Fang Shu doesn't want me anymore. Please take my daughter with you. I will serve you with all my heart." Chang Ru emphasized the word serve. She even stretched out her jade-like hand and caressed Qin Fen's chest. That frivolous action was extremely provocative. In the divine continent where men and women were more conservative, it was even more lustful. Fang Shu's eyes were spitting fire. He finally saw through Chang Ru's true nature. She was simply a fickle woman. Whenever she saw an outstanding male cultivator, she would immediately throw herself at them. Hong Qinwu, on the other hand, revealed an expression of disgust. As a fellow woman, she couldn't understand why Chang Ru would forsake her dignity and chastity for the sake of cultivation. Qin Feng stood in the snow, ignoring all of Chang Ru's seductive expressions and movements. Chang Ru was a bit anxious. She was extremely confident in her looks. Otherwise, she wouldn't have caught the eye of Gao Jin, the genius disciple of the seven-star Gao family. In Chang Ru's opinion, men were all lustful animals. Even if they were powerful cultivators, they couldn't resist the instinctive desire of their bodies. Otherwise, Gao Mingxi, that old thing, wouldn't have secretly looked for her again and again. Senior Qin. Please accept this little girl. This little girl promises to be loyal to you for the rest of my life. I won't hesitate to do anything for you. Changru simply increased the intensity of her attacks. This time, her whole body was in Qin Fen's arms, and her hands were restlessly touching him. One had to admit that this woman's appearance was outstanding and her body was hot, but Qin Fen couldn't arouse the slightest bit of interest. A powerful surge of true origin surged from his body, and Changru was sent flying 100 meters away into the snow. Brother Fong, this is your little junior sister's true nature. Let's go. Fong Shu was filled with gratitude as he watched Qin Fen's receding figure. In fact, he was worried that Qin Fen wouldn't be able to resist the temptation and would push Changru down on the spot. If that really happened, Fong Shu wouldn't have stopped him. However, his friendship with Qin Fen would have come to an end. The three of them resumed their journey and continued to search for the secret formation that led to the 9th layer of the snow region. On the 5th day, Hongchen Wu finally found the location marked on the map. However, she discovered that a large number of cultivators had already gathered there. Qin Fen scanned the area with his divine sense, and his heart was heavy. The cultivators gathered near the hidden formation door were all powerful cultivators with high realms. Hollow God realm cultivators were already at the bottom, and body condensation realm cultivators were the most common. There were also dozens of cauldron-filling state cultivators, and a few cultivators that Qin Fen couldn't see through. Brother Zhou, what's going on here? At this time, another figure rushed over. As soon as that person landed on the ground, the gathered cultivators all revealed expressions of awe. An elder whose cultivation level Qin Fen couldn't see through walked out from the crowd. He cupped his fists and said, Deputy City Lord Wang Lu, we found a hidden formation door in the 5th layer of the snow region. We don't know where it leads to. The person who came was the Deputy City Lord of Snowfield City, Wang Lu Zhongming. He nodded and said, with Brother Zhou's ability, can you activate that hidden formation door? The conversation between the most powerful cultivators in Snowfield City scared the others to the point that their breathing quickened. Even the few cauldron-filling state cultivators revealed nervous expressions. Qin Fen was curious about the identity of Wang Lu Zhongming and the others, so he asked Fong Shu. After Fong Shu introduced them one by one, Qin Fen frowned. It turned out that the old man that Wang Lu Zhongming referred to as Brother Zhou was the vice-sect leader of the Three Purities formation, and his cultivation level had most likely surpassed the cauldron-filling stage. Not long ago, Qin Fen had killed Xiao Ming and the others from the Three Purities formation in the 9 Heavens snow region. However, what Qin Fen was most worried about wasn't Xiao Shan's revenge. The Three Purities formation disciples who found the level 9 caterpillar fungus were all killed by him. There was no one who could inform them. Qin Fen's biggest worry was that the formation door to the 9th layer of the snow region would be discovered. If all the powerful cultivators entered the 9th layer of the snow region, then he would have nothing to do with the ice heart flame. Miss Hong, the place you mentioned is here. Qin Fen wanted to confirm. He hoped that Hong Chenwu was wrong. Senior Qin, it must be here. What should we do now? Hong Chenwu said helplessly. She clearly knew Qin Fen's concerns. Then let's wait and see. If everyone goes in, I don't have the confidence to subdue the heavenly fire. Qin Fen sighed. They had been busy for half a day, but it was very likely that they would fail. The three's mood fell to the bottom, and they remained silent. The crowd was in full swing. Many people listened to Xiao Shan's instructions and searched for the hidden formation door. An hour later, Xiao Shan shouted and threw out formation flags. Those formation flags didn't fall to the ground. They all floated in the air and formed a formation. That formation was clearly in the shape of a formation door. It's here. The hidden formation door has appeared. Senior Xiao Shan is indeed the deputy sect leader of the Three Purities formation. His formation skills are at the peak. Where does this formation door lead to? Will there be a lot of cultivation resources? When the formation door appeared, the crowd was in an uproar. Many cultivators began to imagine that the secret realm was a herb garden or a spirit stone manor. However, only Qin Fen and the others knew that the other end of the formation door was the 9th layer of the snow region. Chapter 2065. Wang Liashengming had already landed beside the array door. After a careful observation, he said, as the deputy governor of Snow Domain City, I know all the secret realm array doors in the first 5 layers of 9 Heaven Snow Domain like the back of my hand, but this array door has an unfamiliar aura. His words stirred the crowd. There was an unknown array door in the 5th layer of 9 Heaven Snow Domain. This meant that no one had been to the secret realm on the other side of the array door and the cultivation resources inside had not been discovered. Such a great opportunity was right in front of them, but no one had rushed into the array door. Opportunities and risks coexisted. Who could be sure that the array door would lead to a secret realm or a dangerous place? Governor Wang Liashengming, what do you think we should do now? More than a dozen big shots gathered around Wang Liashengming. The lineup could scare people to death. Even a cauldron-filling realm late-stage cultivator would be the weakest among them. Most of them were disaster transformation ultimate gods. Wang Liashengming could not help but think of the ceiling sky formation that suddenly appeared above Snow Domain City and the unfamiliar array door in front of him. His expression changed. Let's go in and have a look. Brother Zhou, can you hide the array door? Wang Liashengming asked after a moment of silence. It's not difficult to hide the array door, Sui Shan said. Wang Liashengming nodded and glanced at the adventuring cultivators standing in the distance, not daring to approach, and said, Fellow Taoists, this secret array door does not lead to the Holy Land. It is very likely to be a dangerous place. I advise you not to enter. It is better to search for treasures elsewhere. Everyone did not believe Wang Liashengming's words. If it was really a dangerous place, why would Wang Liashengming and the other top experts of Snow Domain City go in? However, even if they guessed that they wanted to go in and share the treasures, they did not dare to complain. Half a minute later, the crowd had all left. Wang Liashengming did not rush into the array door. He waited until his divine senses could not detect any cultivator's aura within 1,000 miles before he said to Sui Shan, Brother Zhou, hide the array door and we'll go in. Senior Qin, are we really going to leave just like that? Hong Chenwu could not help but ask after flying for 1,000 miles without any intention of stopping. Fang Shu sighed and said, Hong Chenwu, you can't blame Senior Qin this time. Those who stayed are the top experts of Snow Domain City. I heard that Deputy City Lord Wang Liashengming has reached the peak disaster transformation realm. I wonder if he has successfully broken through to the true form realm. This was the first time Qin Fen had heard of Wang Liashengming's cultivation realm. He was extremely shocked and could not help but have a higher opinion of the overall cultivation level of the West Ocean continent. Hong Chenwu's eyes were filled with despair. Her alluring red lips opened and closed as she murmured to herself, then what should I do? Hong Lord of Hong Chenwu's seductive red lips opened and muttered, I of my father of. If I of the sect, I of my father's disease, I, Dao Qin, Shan. Yang, of Long of the Saint City, and Liaf of Realm City, of Yang of Emperor, Wang, Emperor, Heaven. Of however, even if Hong Chenwu's father hadn't fallen ill, when Qin Fen found out that the celestial fire ice heart flame was in the 9th layer of snow region, he was determined to go there. Even if Wang Liashengming tried to stop him, he wouldn't care. Don't worry, Hong Chen. I will definitely go to the 9th level of Snow Domain and do my best to subdue the Ice Heart Flame. As for your father's illness, don't worry. After this expedition, I can go with you and see if I can cure Senior Hong, Qin Feng said. Hong Chen-Wu immediately perked up. Senior Qin, are you serious? Let's go back to the array door now. Qin Feng was not in a hurry. We can't go back now. I believe that Wang Liaoxiangming and the others will not rush into the array door. They might have to stay here for a while to prevent cultivators from hiding nearby. Hong Chen-Wu suddenly realized that she had misunderstood Qin Feng. She immediately bowed and said, "Thank you, Senior Qin. Whether or not Senior Qin can subdue the Ice Heart Flame, I will remember your kindness." Qin Feng waved his hand and said with a smile, "That's enough. Since we have met in the 9 Heavens snow field, it is fate. I regard you and Feng Shu as friends. I am happy to help my friends. Don't be so polite." Because of the encounter with Gao Jin and the others, Hong Chen-Wu and Feng Shu did not run away. Qin Feng had completely accepted them. After going around in the ice and snow a few times, Qin Feng felt that it was time to go back to the array door. However, he did not plan to take Feng Shu and Hong Chen-Wu with him. Firstly, Wang Liaoxiangming and the others had entered the 9th level of Snow Domain. Secondly, the weather in the 5th level of Snow Domain was extremely bad. Qin Feng was afraid that Feng Shu and Hong Chen-Wu would freeze to death in the 9th level of Snow Domain. After knowing Qin Feng's thoughts, the two of them immediately objected. "Senior Qin, I, Feng Shu, am not afraid of death. We agreed to explore the 9th level of Snow Domain together. How can I back out now?" Feng Shu said with a firm expression. Hong Chen-Wu was even more anxious. "If I can't subdue the Ice Heart Flame this time, what's the point of going back alive?" Qin Feng understood their feelings, but he always remained rational. If he entered the 9th level of Snow Domain alone, he might have a chance to subdue the Ice Heart Flame. However, if he took Feng Shu and Hong Chen-Wu with him, he could only escape and stay alive. "Miss Hong, don't worry. As long as I find the Ice Heart Flame, I will definitely meet up with you." Qin Feng looked at Feng Shu and said, "Take Miss Hong and leave the 9 Heaven Snow Domain first. Wait for me at the inn in Snow Domain City. Protect Miss Hong." Qin Feng did not see the scene where Hong Chen-Wu killed the Gao family disciple. Otherwise, he would not have asked Feng Shu to protect her. Feng Shu looked embarrassed. He scratched his head and said, "Senior Qin, you should take us with you." Qin Feng said firmly, "I will go in alone. You two will only die." After some discussion, Feng Shu listened to Qin Feng's suggestion and chose to leave. However, Hong Chen-Wu insisted on going to the 9th level of Snow Domain, so Qin Feng had no choice but to take her with him. When the two of them returned to the place where the array gate was, there was no one else around. Even the array gate that time Sui Shan had revealed had disappeared. "It's over. The array gate was hidden by that old man. How are we going to enter the 9th level of Snow Domain now?" Hong Chen-Wu frowned. Even if she did not know Time Sui Shan, she could guess that he was a formation master. However, she saw that Qin Feng was already sitting cross-legged in the snow with his eyes closed. When Hong Chen-Wu was about to ask him, he waved his hands and threw out a sky full of array flags. Buzz! A strange energy wave rippled out. Hong Chen-Wu had a look of disbelief on her face. A white array gate appeared in the void in front of her. "Senior Qin, you know formations." "I know a little." Qin Feng did not explain much. He grabbed Hong Chen-Wu's hand and rushed into the sky. "Let's go in." When the two of them disappeared in the void, the white array gate flashed and disappeared, once again hidden in the void. Qin Feng felt dizzy. This teleportation formation was quite a distance away. Hong Chen-woo's condition was even worse. She felt like she was about to be torn apart by the chaotic aura in the teleportation tunnel. Fortunately, after a while, she found the feeling of landing on the ground. Hong Chen-woo crouched down and wanted to vomit, but she could not. Qin Feng had already spread his divine sense out. However, in the next second, his expression changed drastically. He felt a strong sense of death coming at him. This was not the killing intent of someone, but the aura of death brought about by the harsh environment. The harsh environment of the 9th level of Snow Domain far exceeded Qin Feng's expectations. Even his divine sense was frozen, and he could not release it at all. The two of them had only been on the ground for a few seconds when they were covered in ice and snow. When a cold wind blew, they were instantly frozen into ice sculptures. Qin Feng's body was no longer just cold. He realized that his consciousness was being frozen bit by bit. His ability to think and react were quickly fading. If this continued, he would definitely freeze to death. With a thought, the spirit sunflower heavenly fire burned fiercely. However, Qin Feng still felt bone-chilling cold. On the other hand, his divine sense and thoughts were slowly recovering. Qin Feng knew that he could still hold on in the 9th level of Snow Domain, but he could only hold on for a few hours at most. However, he immediately realized that Hong Chen-woo did not have a rare fire of heaven and earth. Coming here would only mean death. The situation was critical. Qin Feng did not dare to delay any longer. He immediately activated the purple flame, causing the two rare fires to burn at the same time. The layer of ice on his body finally began to melt, but a new layer of ice covered him. Qin Feng had no choice but to burn his blood essence. Only then did he manage to make the ice melt faster than it was freezing. "Miss Hong, are you okay?" After a whole incense's time, Qin Feng finally removed the ice on his body. When he rushed to Hong Chen-woo's side, he found that she had already fainted from the cold. She did not have any consciousness at all. "What the hell is this place?" Qin Feng could not help but complain. Then, he immediately picked up Hong Chen-woo and flew through the wind and snow. He wanted to find a cave to settle down in. Along the way, the two rare fires kept burning. Qin Feng did not dare to stop at all. Otherwise, he would immediately be frozen in the void. It felt like he had entered a battlefield. After flying for an unknown amount of time, Qin Feng's expression changed. He saw a row of people in the wind and snow in the distance. Apart from him and Hong Chen-woo, only Wang Lu Zhongming and the group of godly venerables had entered the 9th Snow Domain. Qin Feng immediately turned around and ran without thinking. If he was caught by Wang Lu Zhongming and the others, only death would await him. However, after flying for a few kilometers, Qin Feng turned around and flew back. He found that the people in the wind and snow in the distance did not move at all. They seemed to have frozen to death. The flying sword landed, and Qin Feng arrived in the middle of the row of people. There were 8 people in this row, and all of them were frozen in the snow. Moreover, it was very likely that they had frozen to death as soon as they teleported to this layer of Snow Domain. This was because the 8 of them were in different positions. Some were about to escape on their swords, while others were about to circulate their vital ether to protect themselves. Even their vital ether had been frozen into strands of air. It was a rare sight. Qin Feng began to guess that the cultivation of this group of people should be at the empty god consolidated body realm or lower. Otherwise, they would not have been frozen to death instantly. However, he could not understand how an empty god consolidated body realm could enter the 9th Snow Domain. Chapter 2066. Out of curiosity, Qin Feng used heaven fire to melt the ice on one of the older cultivators. Before he died, the old man was still flying on a sword. When the ice melted, the old man's body flew forward for some distance before he fell into the snow. Qin Fen was shocked. He was completely shocked by the cold weather of the 9th level of the snow region. This place could no longer be described as simply cold. This was a land of death. There was no chance of survival. As soon as the old man fell, his body was covered in ice and snow again. Qin Fen immediately released heaven fire. When the ice melted again, Qin Fen took the old man's storage ring. There was a divine sense restriction on the storage ring. When Qin Fen tried to use his powerful divine sense to break the divine sense restriction, he realized it was useless. Qin Fen was shocked. A scary thought popped into his mind. He had absorbed more than 3,000 soul crystals and cultivated the soul returning technique. His divine sense was invincible among his peers. It was even close to the strength of a cauldron-filling state cultivator. However, his divine sense could not break the divine sense seal on the dead old man's storage ring. This old man was at least cauldron-filling state when he was alive. A cauldron-filling state cultivator was frozen to death the moment he entered the 9th level of the snow region. Qin Fen found it unbelievable. He realized his previous guess was completely wrong. This was not a group of low-level cultivators. The harsh environment of the 9 Heavens snow region was more terrifying than he imagined. Qin Fen was even more worried about Hong Qin-Wu's safety. Although he could not see through this woman's realm, he guessed that she could not be cauldron-filling state. Hong Qin-Wu did not have a heavenly flame to protect her body. The armor she wore was only average. If she stayed in this icy environment for a long time, there was no hope of survival. Master. Don't worry too much, those cultivators froze to death because they underestimated the harsh weather of this region of snow. Many of them didn't even wear armor, so it's not surprising that they froze to death, Little Pig reminded him. Qin Fen quickly calmed himself down and looked at the 8 cultivators again. It was just as Little Pig had said, only 3 of them were wearing armor, and they were spirit-grade armor. These people obviously didn't take any defensive measures and entered the 9th layer of the snow domain. Qin Fen thought about it and felt that they probably didn't even know they were going to enter the 9th layer of the snow domain. Perhaps they just stumbled into the formation door. No matter what the truth was, it had little to do with Qin Fen. These people had no idea how long they had been frozen to death. However, because of the extremely cold environment, their corpses were well preserved. It was as if they had fallen into a deep sleep. After trying a few more divine sense attacks, Qin Fen finally broke the seal on the storage ring. When his divine sense swept inside, Qin Fen was immediately stunned. He was sure that the owner of this storage ring was at least a cauldron-filling realm cultivator, most likely in the late stage of cauldron-filling realm. This was because the storage ring was extremely rich in cultivation resources. There were 3 pieces of true artifact-grade armors, and a small mountain of level 6 and level 7 spiritual herbs and refining materials. Qin Fen's excitement didn't last long. He quickly gathered his thoughts and put the storage ring away. Now that he was in the 9th layer of the snow domain, even with the protection of 2 heavenly flames, he felt a little overwhelmed. He didn't use the heavenly flame to melt the ice on the others and take their storage rings, because he didn't just need to use the 2 heavenly flames to protect himself. Qin Fen didn't use the heavenly flames to protect Hong Qin-Wu. Otherwise, she would have frozen to death. The 9th layer of the snow domain was shrouded in a hazy snow mist. Visibility was less than 100 meters. Affected by the extremely cold environment, Qin Fen couldn't use his divine sense. He couldn't even tell north from south. Since he couldn't find a cave to hide in, Qin Fen had no choice but to take out the flying cloud all. However, when he hid inside the flying cloud all with Hong Qin-Wu in his arms, he heard a soft, crisp sound. This flying ship, which was comparable to a high-grade true artifact in the Divine Continent, was frozen. The flying cloud all's speed was reduced by half due to the extreme snowstorm. After flying for half an hour, the flying cloud all's surface was covered with a layer of hard ice. When Qianfen used his divine sense to scan the ice, he found that there were many cracks on the surface. Qianfen was worried. If the flying cloud all was destroyed in the 9th layer of the snow domain, the loss would outweigh the gain. His main flying artifact was the flying cloud all. It was the best tool for escaping. However, it was unrealistic to put the flying cloud all away now. The harsh and cold environment in the 9th layer of the snow domain was beyond Qianfen's expectation. Even with the protection of 2 heavenly flames, he couldn't hold on for long. Most importantly, he had to protect Hong Chenwu. If Hong Chenwu was exposed to the snowstorm, she would die soon. Master, try the fire spirit crystals. Little Pig suddenly reminded. Only then did Qianfen remember that he collected more than 10,000 fire spirit crystals in the cave in the Insect Valley. However, some of them were used to upgrade the spirit sunflower heaven fire. Now, there were only more than 3,000 fire spirit crystals left in the storage ring. He immediately took out more than 3,000 fire spirit crystals and piled them up in the resting room. When these fire spirit crystals appeared, the temperature inside the flying cloud all skyrocketed. The hot air floated out through the vent and melted some of the ice on the surface of the flying cloud all. This scene surprised Qianfen. It seemed that the fire spirit crystals were effective. He sat on the ground with his legs crossed and started to set up a formation. He used 1,000 fire spirit crystals to set up a fire spirit formation. 2 hours later, the fire spirit formation was completed. Although it was Qianfen's first time setting up this kind of formation, the effect was very obvious. The temperature inside the flying cloud all was maintained at 28 degrees Celsius, which was the most comfortable temperature. Qianfen didn't stop. He took out the 3 true artifact armors from the storage ring he got not long ago. He planned to add fire spirit crystals into the armors to modify them into fire elemental defensive armors. Qianfen was now at the level of a low-grade true artifact master, and he had a 20% chance of making a low-grade true artifact. Moreover, he was only modifying the formed true artifact armors. This kind of work was not difficult for him. 6 hours later, the 3 true artifact armors were successfully modified into fire elemental defensive true armors. Qianfen immediately put on one of the true artifact armors. At this time, he found that the ice on Hong Chenwu's body had completely melted, so he put on an armor for her as well. Qianfen finally let out a sigh of relief. With the help of the 3,000 fire spirit crystals, he temporarily alleviated the crisis. However, thinking that he had used up the 3,000 fire spirit crystals just like that, he felt a bit sad. Senior Qin, are we dead? Hong Chenwu woke up not long after she put on the armor. Qianfen hurriedly took out some medicinal pellets to consolidate true core and handed them to her. He said, "We are not dead. Take the medicinal pellets first and adjust your true core." Hong Chenwu's beautiful eyes were filled with shock. When she entered the 9th layer of the snow region, she felt an irresistible aura of death. That feeling made her feel hopeless. She did not expect that Qianfen would save her. Hong Chenwu immediately swallowed the medicinal pellets and meditated for a while. When she opened her eyes again, the skin that was not covered by the veil had regained its color. "Senior Qin, what's the situation now?" Hong Chenwu asked immediately. Qianfen had already checked the surrounding terrain. He found that along the way, there was nothing but barren mountains and snowy lands. There was not even a mountain in sight, let alone a cave to hide in. This situation worried Qianfen, because the energy supply of the fire spirit formation could not last for long. Once the 1,000 fire spirit crystals were used up, he and Hong Chin-woo would fall into a dangerous situation again. We need to find the ice heart flame as soon as possible. Otherwise, we will freeze to death here. Chin-fen did not hide the danger they were in. He wanted Hong Chin-woo to be mentally prepared. Senior Chin, did you see Wang Lu Zhongming's group? Maybe they are also here to find the ice heart flame. Why don't we follow them? Hong Chin-woo said. Chin-fen shook his head and said, we did not see any living people along the way, but we did see a lot of dead people. Hong Chin-woo did not understand what Chin-fen meant by dead people, but she did not need to ask Chin-fen. When her divine sense swept out of the flying cloud all, the scene in the snowy lands shocked her. There are so many cultivators frozen to death in the 9th layer of the snow region. It seems that many people have been here. I wonder if the ice heart flame is still here. Hong Chin-woo was worried. In fact, Chin-fen had already considered this possibility. However, since they were already here, he wanted to search for more. It would not be too late to find an exit and leave when he really could not hold on. The flying cloud all sped along without a destination. Along the way, Chin-fen and Hong Chin-woo saw many cultivators frozen to death. Towards the end, they did not find it strange anymore. However, the state of the 9th layer of the snow region gradually caused the two of them to despair. This place was like a boundless wilderness of snow. Not only were there no signs of life, but there wasn't even a single mountain or wild grass to be found. Wow! Senior Chin, that river is so beautiful. Hong Chin-woo suddenly cried out. Her beautiful eyes, which were not covered by her veil, were shining. Chin-fen had also found the narrow river not far away. There was a stream flowing in the river. It was clear and bright, and it reflected some crystal light. It was mesmerizing. However, Chin-fen quickly came to his senses. With a look of disbelief, he shouted, "This is not right. The 9th layer of the snow region is a world of ice and snow. Anything can be frozen. How can there be a stream flowing here?" With his reminder, Hong Chin-woo suddenly came to her senses and said, "Yes. Why is there a river flowing here? What is going on?" The two of them could not figure it out. Chin-fen immediately increased the speed of the flying cloud all and flew towards the slowly flowing river. As they got closer to the river, the wind and snow around them became weaker, and the temperature increased. "Senior Chin, I feel like the temperature outside has increased. Is it my imagination?" Hong Chin-woo said in surprise. "It is not your imagination. Look carefully. The wind and snow above this river are very light. The temperature has increased, so the river is not frozen. I plan to fly under the river to take a look. Maybe I will find something," Chin-fen said. Chapter 2067. The flying cloud all started to descend, straight into the river. A true artifact like this could not only fly in the air, but it could also move underwater. "Senior Chin, I feel the temperature increase again." After the flying cloud all entered the water, Hong Chin-woo immediately noticed. Chin-fen also felt the increase in temperature, and he became more curious about the situation at the bottom of the river. He even suspected that there was an unusual fire hidden under the river. Otherwise, what else could improve the harsh environment of 9 Heaven Snow region? When they were above the shore, the water felt very shallow, but when Chin-fen entered, he realized he was wrong. The river was unfathomably deep. The flying cloud all flew at full speed, but it still hadn't reached the bottom after the time it took for an incense stick to burn. As they went deeper into the river, the pressure from the water increased. Chin-fen could already hear a slight sound coming from the flying cloud all. It was similar to the sound of the flying cloud all cracking in the blizzard. But he knew that the sound wasn't from freezing, but from the impact of the water pressure at the bottom of the river. After flying for another 2 incense sticks of time, the water pressure increased, and it even hindered the flying cloud all speed. Qianfen began to worry that something bad would happen if they continued flying. If the flying cloud all cracked, he didn't know if he could withstand the fierce water pressure with his cultivation. But at this moment, a pillar of light shot up from the river. Hong Chen-Wu immediately shouted, "Senior Qin, there's light under the water." Qianfen had already changed the direction of the flying cloud all. He inserted a dozen spirit crystals into the energy system. The flying cloud all's speed increased again, and it quickly rushed to the source of the pillar of light. Qianfen and Hong Chen-Wu saw an extremely spectacular scene. At the bottom of the raging river, there was a tall black mountain. The peak of the mountain couldn't be seen, and it seemed to extend above the river. The white pillar of light shot out from the bottom of the mountain, and it was the entrance of a cave. The water pressure at the bottom of the river was extremely fierce, but there was no water flowing into the cave. Qianfen landed the flying cloud all outside the cave, and his divine sense scanned the cave entrance. "Senior Qin, this cave entrance is very strange. Why doesn't the water flow in?" Hong Chen-Wu also realized this point that went against common sense. Qianfen had already retracted his divine sense, and he had a look of understanding. "There is an array at the entrance that seals the river." "I see. Does Senior Qin have a way to enter the array door?" Hong Chen-Wu was very curious about the situation inside the cave. Qin Feng had the same intention. Regardless of whether the cave was dangerous or not, at least it was much better than the water pressure at the bottom of the river and the snowstorm above the river. The formation at the entrance of the cave was not high. It was a grade 6 defensive formation. With Qin Feng's current formation skills, he could break it. However, he wasn't in a rush to break the formation. Instead, he was confused. Logically speaking, a 6th-level defense formation could only block attacks from hollow spirit state cultivators and would be easily broken by body condensation state cultivators. At this depth, the force of the river was definitely not small. Qin Feng estimated that it was at least body condensation state cultivators' true essence. How could it not break the formation? Could it be that someone just came over to set up a defensive formation? Qin Feng suddenly thought of something. He immediately thought of Wang Lu Zhongming and the others, because he, Hong Chen-Wu, and Wang Lu Zhongming were probably the only ones still alive in the Nine Heavens snow region. Moreover, the vice-sect master of the Three Purities formation, Sui Shan, was also in that group. It was very likely that Sui Shan had set up this Class 6 defensive formation. "Senior Qin, can you not break the formation?" Hong Chen-Wu asked when Qin Feng didn't respond. Qin Feng came back to his senses and said with a serious expression, "I can break this defensive formation, but I suspect that Wang Lu Zhongming and the others have entered the cave." Hong Chen-Wu was shocked. "Huh? They're also here. Then what should we do? Should we leave here first?" Thinking of Wang Lu Zhongming and the other old monsters' cultivation levels, Hong Chen-Wu's mind was in chaos. Even Qin Feng couldn't calm down, let alone her. If they really ran into that group of people, they probably wouldn't even know how they died. However, Qin Feng didn't want to leave. Putting aside the fact that the extreme cold outside was fatal, the most important thing was that he had his eyes on this cave abode. It was very likely that there was a heaven and earth strange flame inside. "Miss Hong, drive the flying cloud all outside and wait for me. I'll go into the cave and see what's going on." Qin Feng finally made a decision. Hong Chen-Wu was surprised. "Senior Qin, are you really going in? Even if there are treasures hidden in the cave, I'm afraid we can't take them away." Qin Feng said firmly, "Since I've found this place, I must go in and see what's going on." Also, Wang Lu Zhongming and the others might not have gone into the cave. That's just my guess. Qin Feng said this to comfort Hongchen Wu, because he was sure that Wang Lu Zhongming and the others had entered the cave. Seeing that Qin Feng was determined to go in, Hongchen Wu gritted her teeth and said that she wanted to follow. Qin Feng couldn't persuade her in the end, so he brought Hongchen Wu with him. After the time it took for an incense stick to burn, Qin Feng finished making the formation flags. However, he had to leave the flying cloud all before he could break the formation. The water pressure here was extremely fierce, so he only had one chance. When everything was ready, Qin Feng rushed out of the flying cloud all first. He wanted to throw out the formation flags immediately, but he suddenly felt a destructive force coming at him, and he was instantly sucked into the whirlpool of the river. The force of the river was more terrifying than Qin Feng had imagined. The fire spirit crystal true treasure armor that he had forged not long ago was instantly broken. When the water surged up his body, Qin Feng didn't think twice and put on the life immortal armor. The life immortal armor temporarily withstood the pressure of the river, but it wasn't much better. Qin Feng's body was like a kite with a broken string, drifting erratically in the whirlpool of the river. He wanted to throw out the formation flags and break through the 6th level defensive formation, but he didn't even have the chance to get close to the entrance. Hongchen Wu was still in the flying cloud all. Seeing that Qin Feng was in trouble, she was full of anxiety. However, in the end, she kept her calm and didn't rush out to help. She knew Qin Feng's strength very well. If he couldn't even protect himself, she would only be a burden if she went out. Master. Try the field. Little Pig reminded. Qin Feng hurriedly used the field, and a strange magnetic field rippled around his body. The field was successfully used. The turbulent whirlpool of water didn't freeze, but at least it calmed down a little. How could Qin Feng miss such a great opportunity? As soon as he steadied his body, he rushed to the entrance of the cave. He slapped his hand, and dozens of formation flags fell down. Then, Qin Feng gathered a large amount of true essence and swung the gray ruler fiercely. Rumble. A loud sound exploded at the bottom of the river, causing a huge wave to surge. The 6th level defensive formation at the entrance of the cave was instantly broken. It was like a dam had been opened, and the river surged in like a flood. Chapter 2068. Under the force of the river, Qin Feng and the soaring cloud all were instantly sucked into the cave. The water showed no signs of stopping, and in a few breaths, they were a few hundred meters away. After entering the cave, Qin Feng immediately released his divine sense to observe. However, his divine sense could only scan the interior of the cave and could not penetrate the rocks to see further. This was an incomparably long and narrow tunnel that seemed to have been dug by someone. Under the force of the river, Qin Feng sped all the way and finally flew out of another cave. Whoosh! The moment he left the cave, Qin Feng finally escaped the force of the river. When he regained his freedom, he immediately flew away on his flying sword. On both sides were tall mountains that formed a large canyon. Below him was a river with no end, and the clear water flowed slowly. Qin Feng hovered above the canyon on his flying sword. When he turned back to look at the cave, the river surged out and formed a waterfall. Senior Qin, are you okay? Hongchen Wu flew out of the soaring cloud all. I'm fine. How are you? Qin Feng asked. Hongchen Wu let out a sigh of relief and quickly said, It's all thanks to the protection of Senior Qin's ship. If I fell into the river, I probably wouldn't have survived. Qin Feng nodded. He knew more about the force of the river than Hongchen Wu. If it wasn't for the protection of the immortal armor, he probably would have died in the river. Let's not talk about this for now. Let's find a safe place to understand the situation here. Qin Feng put away the soaring cloud all and used his flying sword to explore. The terrain above the canyon was dangerous, and with the speed of the soaring cloud it was hard to control it without crashing into the rocks. Aside from that, there was another more important reason. The climate in the canyon was warm, and there was no need to hide in the soaring cloud to block the cold. Senior Chin, where are we now? I feel like we've left the Nine Heavens snow region. After flying for a while, Hong Chen-woo was full of questions. Even Qin Fen suspected that this space had left the Nine Heavens snow region. It had been a world of ice and snow before, but now it was like a spring breeze. The difference was too big. Because the climate in the canyon was warm, it was full of life compared to the world of ice and snow outside. Qin Fen flew upstream along the river. He saw many spirit herbs and beast spirits along the way. This was something that couldn't be seen in the snow outside. Senior Qin, there seems to be someone ahead. After flying for an unknown period of time, Hong Chen-woo cried out in alarm. Normally, seeing a living person in an unknown environment like this would be a happy thing, but Hong Chen-woo's brows were tightly furrowed. Qin Fang's expression immediately turned serious. He had already guessed that Wang, Lu Zhongming, and the others had also entered this valley. If they were to meet people here, they would most likely be the group of peak experts from Snow Domain City. With a sweep of his divine sense, Qin Fen saw two early-stage cauldron-filling realm cultivators not far away. Qin Fen let out a sigh of relief. He thought to himself that these two people should be the personal disciples of those peak cultivators. With Qin Fen's current cultivation, he wasn't afraid of early-stage cauldron-filling state cultivators. In fact, if he found the opportunity to strike first, he could instantly kill an early-stage cauldron-filling state cultivator. However, he would not really go and deal with those two. There might be other venerables nearby. Let's go. Qin Fen immediately sent a voice transmission to Red Dust Dance. However, before the two of them could leave, a heart-wrenching scream of pain came from behind them. The two stopped at the same time and looked back in shock. The two cauldron-filling state cultivators had blue flames on their bodies, but the flames had no heat and instantly froze them into ice sculptures. Crack, crack. There was a subtle sound, as if something had cracked. A few seconds later, a shocking scene appeared in front of Qin Fen and Red Dust Dance. The two early-stage cauldron-filling state cultivators had been frozen into ice shards, which scattered all over the ground. How could this be? How did they die? Red Dust Dance was so scared that she couldn't even speak clearly. Qin Fen had already swept his divine sense over, and his expression instantly changed. Not good, there's a killing intent coming. The killing intent was very strong, but Qin Fen couldn't even see what it was. However, he didn't have the time to look at it in detail. He immediately grabbed Red Dust Dance and ran. Only then did Red Dust Dance react. She also used her divine sense to sweep behind her. She saw a blue flame appear in the sky above the valley, quickly chasing after her and Qin Fen. Senior Qin, it seems to be a rare flame. Red Dust Dance was overjoyed. Qin Fen said firmly, it's definitely not a rare flame. I have flames, so I am very familiar with their aura. Red Dust Dance's emotions were like a roller coaster. She immediately became nervous. Not a rare flame. Then what is it? The flame chasing after them was extremely fast. It was less than 50 meters away from Qin Fen and Red Dust Dance. This time, Qin Fen finally saw it clearly. It wasn't a flame at all, but something made up of countless blue flying insects. Not good, Master. This is the Ice Spirit Insect, which is ranked 58th on the Divine Supreme Continent along with the Fire Spirit Insect. Little Pig suddenly shouted. Qin Fen's heart became heavy. Last time in the Thousand Insect Valley in the South Flat Continent, he had witnessed the power of spirit insects. especially the bloodthirsty insect at the bottom of the Thousand Lotus Lake, which almost killed him. However, when he remembered that the ice spirit insect was ranked 58th like the fire spirit insect, Qianfen felt slightly relieved. He believed that with the heavenly fire spirit sunflower in hand, these ice spirit insects wouldn't be a threat to him. However, Qianfen quickly realized that he was wrong. When the tens of thousands of ice spirit insects approached them, a bone-piercing chill hit them and instantly froze him and Red Dust Dance. The two of them were still flying on their swords, but they had already become ice sculptures, just like the cultivators who were frozen to death in the snowstorm outside. However, Qianfen and Red Dust Dance's thoughts were still there, and they both looked anxious. Qianfen couldn't understand why the ice spirit insects were so ferocious, but only ranked 58th with the fire spirit insect. Master, it's not because of the ice spirit insects. It should be because of the flame on their bodies, Little Pig immediately reminded him. Qianfen used his divine sense again, and this time, he carefully examined the ice spirit insects. He found that almost every ice spirit insect had a flame on its antennae. The flame was so small that it couldn't be seen, just like an illusory antenna. No wonder Qianfen didn't notice it before. What kind of flame is this? Qianfen felt a trace of the unusual flame's aura. The aura was extremely weak, and if he didn't look carefully, he wouldn't be able to detect it. Little Pig guessed, Master. Could it be the ice heart flame? Qianfen's eyes lit up. He felt that it could really be the ice heart flame, but he quickly thought that it wasn't. If the ice heart flame was really hiding in this canyon, the environment here would be even worse than outside, so how could it be warm? Now wasn't the time to guess what kind of flame it was, because Qianfen already felt death approaching. Tens of thousands of ice spirit insects were like a sea of fire, and everywhere they went, even the air was instantly frozen. You're tuning into the LoveLore Library YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.